Sinus migraines are not nice.
No, they're not. They can be debilitating. So look at you toughing it out, hanging out with us. Well, we appreciate you pulling up. Hey, can my people in the chat, can we get a prayer, for Crystal? I know we got some prayer warriors in the chat for sure. I know we do. Prayer will fix all things. It definitely will.
Yes.
Definitely will. What's up, Spaces, man? How you been, bro?
I've been all right. I was just thinking about how I don't know if you remember Nikki, Just a Brown Girl in America, that you had up here.
Just a Brown Girl in America.
Yeah, she's having a live show. Yeah, she's having a live show on Sunday, and she wanted me to be a part of the panel. So I'll be in St. Louis on Sunday.
Oh, all right. Look at you moving on up in the world. Okay, I see you.
When you making them coins, you could do that.
Yeah, I know. One of these days, I'm gonna get like you, Spaces, moving on up in the world. People don't invite me nowhere.
Maybe I'll start throwing out some slight flexes like you.
Slight flexes? I don't flex. All right. So I'm sure most folks seen the thumbnail, seen the title. Somebody said it was clickbait. It really isn't. It's not. It is not clickbait. I promise you it's not. Trump's FCC is defending Jasmine Crockett. Now, I gotta put this out here. I think they are playing chess, not checkers. And the goal is to get Jasmine Crockett through the Democratic primary out there in Texas. They want her to win. I'm just saying, they do. They want her to win because they do not believe that she can win on the statewide level in the general. So they're actually, hey, y'all know the president. Hey, he plays chess. You know what I'm saying? And he's normally right. Actually, I'm going to say he is right. Just saying, I'm going to play this clip for you. We'll get into it. We'll hear from you guys. Celeste, we'll give you the first word when we come back.
Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Tallarico. Do you mean to cause trouble?
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas.
We've all seen the attack ads that have come on behalf of my primary opponent, who supposedly wants to get rid of super PACs, yet doesn't have anything to say about the negative ads, the ads that are darkening my skin, and this continual kind of, if she wins, we lose. It's not even undertones right now. It is straight up racist. So I am tired of people asking whether or not I am electable. The reality is that is nothing but dog whistle.
So do you blame Representative Tallarico for the frictions and tensions?
I will say that usually when you're behind, that's when you start to do ugly things. You can take that however you want to. I am tired of people asking whether or not I am electable. The reality is that is nothing but dog whistle. If you got a super PAC that's doing your bidding, then they need to go ahead and lift you up. What they shouldn't be doing is tearing down a black woman who, number one, is more qualified. These are just the facts. At the end of the day, I am the only one that has owned a small business. I am the only one that has actually practiced law both on the state level and the federal level. I am the only one that has been elected to do work on the state level as well as the federal level. And frankly, I did all of that, and we know that as it relates to my opponent. And God bless, because my dad is a teacher, so I don't want anybody to get this twisted. But he had 2 years where he taught charter school. And then after that, he went into the State House, and then he became a consultant.
Stephen Colbert.
I just want to say this for the record. She is saying that Democrats don't like black women either now. Just saying, for the record.
Addressing a big story at the intersection of politics and media as the late-night host, Colbert, and his employer, CBS, duke it out. He says the network blocked his interview with Texas Democratic Senate candidate James Tallarico from airing on TV. He also accuses CBS parent company Paramount of not standing up to, quote, bullies over new FCC guidance on equal time for political candidates. But CBS says Colbert is not telling the whole story. MS Now reporter Nick McCool shares more on the Late Show controversy.
There's another big story today that I never got to over in my monologue, and it's me.
Stephen Colbert addressing the firestorm over an interview with Texas Democratic Senate candidate James Tallarico, which was slated to air Monday night, but did not appear on the broadcast.
He was supposed to be here, but we were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast.
That decision, Colbert said, came after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr posted guidance from the commission last month, saying late-night shows may not qualify for an exemption to the rule that political candidates for office must be given equal time on the air.
He had not gotten rid of it yet, but CBS generously did it for him and told me unilaterally that I had to abide by the equal time rules, something I have never been asked to do for an interview in the 21 years of this job.
In a statement Tuesday, CBS said The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview, saying Colbert was presented with options to provide equal time. On Tuesday night, Colbert said his original monologue recounting the dispute was approved by CBS lawyers.
I am well aware that we can book other guests. I didn't need to be presented with that option.
The exemption in question is for bona fide news interviews. In 2006, the FCC ruled that an interview on Jay Leno's Tonight Show with then California incumbent gubernatorial candidate Arnold Schwarzenegger qualified as such an interview. But Carr says that exemption doesn't necessarily apply to all late-night talk shows, especially those motivated by partisan purposes.
If Kimmel or Colbert want to continue to do their programming and they don't want to have to comply with this requirement or other public interest obligations like prohibitions on broadcast hoax or news distortion, then they can go to a cable channel or a podcast or a streaming service, and that's fine.
The lone Democratic commissioner on the FCC, Ana Gomez, ripped the network for stopping the interview, writing CBS is fully protected under the First Amendment to determine what interviews it airs, which makes its decision to yield to political pressure all the more disappointing. Guardian U.S. media and power reporter Jeremy Barr.
Really what this is about is Brendan Carr, who is one of Donald Trump's sort of main enforcers of putting pressure on media companies that tend to be critical of him, basically trying to use the rule book in a way that can sort of curb some of these shows and these networks that are critical of him.
Tallarico's Late Show appearance, posted on YouTube, has garnered millions of views.
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas.
Tallarico addressing the controversy on MS Now Tuesday night.
The most powerful people in the country, the most powerful politicians, and the most powerful corporate executives are working together to sell out the First Amendment.
Celeste, we'll give you the first word. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think this completes the trifecta. So you've got Mandami to the north, Spanberger to the south, and now possibly Crockett to the southwest. If we could get somebody in the actual West Coast, then that would be an absolute completion. They'd have four corners, because the Republican Party can run in the midterms just against those three. There was some reporting today that Mandami had defunded the police in New York. We see the tax explosion in Virginia from Spanberger, and Jasmine Crockett has yet to come and say anything that she will or will do. We still don't know what she's running on. I suppose she may tell us a day or two before the election. We may be able to find that
She
out.
told you she's running on being a black woman. That's it.
Well, okay,
That's
then she should get the signs and the T-shirts, so then we can officially say that. I think that's very smart. The Republican Party can run the entire midterms and draw a contrast just using those three. However, I would be cautious to say don't ever underestimate Republicans' ability to lose a winning election. So, because they can do it. If you don't think they can, they're the yes, we can party. Yes, we can lose. So we'll have to see how they spend the next, 8 or so months, and how serious they are about wanting to protect their majorities. I would also want to remind everyone, in terms of CVS, that Barry Weiss is now, I believe, president or CEO. I'm not sure of her exact title, but she's running the show over there. So I think Stephen Colbert let the cat out of the bag when he said that he had never been in 21 years asked to provide any equal time. So basically, he said, I've been able to be biased and partisan for 21 years, and this is a shock that I'm going to now have to follow the rules. The other gentleman who spoke said the same thing. He said that this man was a henchman for Donald Trump, trying to enforce the rules on media places that wanted to criticize him. Well, let's say that's exactly true. Well, the fact is they are the rules and they haven't been enforced. And everyone, even in their so-called defense, is actually admitting that. And for some reason, they're admitting it without any shame. And I'm not even sure they know they're telling the truth on themselves. They haven't been fair and balanced. They brought Barry over there in an attempt to, at the very least, look more fair, if in fact not be more fair. And now their talent and personalities are seeing that it's time to pay the piper. And no, Arnold Schwarzenegger, in my opinion, does not qualify as an equal time recipient. Get somebody who actually will give you an opposing view respectfully, in the tone of your show. I'm not saying you need to go outside and revamp your show and get people who aren't, somewhat congruent with your audience or can speak in a way that your audience can appreciate. But surely there is someone in 21 years who could have sat on Colbert's couch and exchanged a joke or two and expressed their point of view. So it is interesting to see CBS have to turn themselves in a pretzel to explain why they're so reticent to do what are, in fact, they admit are the rules.
Crystal, we'll get you next.
Listen, today was very interesting to watch Trump defend Crockett and Crockett defend Trump, because she came out and was like, it wasn't the Trump administration, it was a FCC ruling. Like, that was one of those. Am I daydreaming right now? It was very interesting to see both of them stand up and say that. And at the end of the day, I look at that Talrico guy, and all I see is the false angel of light, because that man just stay lying any and every which way he goes. If he don't, he switches. I just showed people how he switches scripture like ain't nobody business. He said Jesus don't care about ABs. Jesus don't care about the alphabet community. Jesus only care if you feed the poor and basically open up the borders to the foreigners. That's basically all. And he said that is how God will decide if you get into heaven or not. Listen, and then he's trying to tout that he's a Christian. I don't know what kind of Christian that's supposed to be. And again, that is why we are supposed to test the spirits always, because that is a false angel of light all through and through. And so that's why he had no problem jumping
Crystal,
up there.
Crystal, real fast, and I know you're going, but I don't know if you saw the clip where he compared the way that he justified pregnancy terminations was because he said that Mary, when the Holy Spirit came down and spoke to Mary, he gave her a choice as to whether or not he can impregnate her with Jesus or not. I'm like, that's what he said. Now, my thing is that when people start talking like that, okay, in the scripture, you're supposed to be able to find it typically 2 to 3 additional places to confirm. Yes. I want to see him try to confirm this, but he was on Joe Rogan, and we know Joe Rogan's not a Christian, so Joe Rogan's not going to push back in the way that someone that is actually a believer and actually understands the word. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just wanted to throw that out there.
And that's what I'm saying. He twists scripture. I watch him. I did see that. I've seen him twist scripture so much. He sat on The View twisting scripture, and he's trying to. That's why I say he's a false angel of light. He is not a Christian. I don't care what anybody said. That man is not a Christian. So it's very easy for him and Colbert to team up and try to act like two witnesses to say that it was the Trump administration trying to hold them down. But Trump had nothing. Listen, this is the rules. This is the rules. And as somebody said in the comments, wow, law trying to maintain law and order is a problem. You can't even just follow the law. You can't come in. You can't do what it says. That's a problem. And at the end of the day, I love that Jasmine Crockett can admit, well, the Democrats have a problem with Black women since because it's always been the racist Republicans. They're the ones that have a problem with the Black women. But now your own party, your own people, your own constituents, your own everyone, they're the one that has a problem with you. And this is what we've been saying the entire time. Who is the party that started the KKK?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the party that didn't want to free the slaves? Who is the party that didn't want Black people allowed to vote? Who's the party that wanted to make sure that there was Jim Crow? Who's the party that wanted segregation? Okay, so again, I'm glad she had a moment of reflection, and I hope that there are some Black people that say, "Well, hold on, you mean Democrats actually don't like Black people?" Because Jasmine just said it. Do we have to look into it? I hope there's some Black people that actually realize that and have a moment of recognition of that, because all you see is the foolishness constantly. And if the fact that Colbert did not want to have, apparently didn't want to have Jasmine on, but he wanted James Tallarico on, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Mm-hmm. Because they, at least the View had on Jasmine and James. So you couldn't say that it wasn't, they had equal time. But Colbert was very strategic. He don't want her because he doesn't want her to get in office. So again, how progressive is the Democratic Party? Just let me know how that goes. Let me know how progressive liberals are, because clearly they're not.
Yeah, they're showcasing themselves as who we've been saying they are for quite some time. And they tend to do this to each other. If you guys recall, when Kamala Harris, she called Joe Biden out, and she called him,
Yes.
It racist, and then all of a sudden it was, we did it, Joe. These people are so fake. So, but my problem is, will other Black women, other Black men who are a part of the Democratic plantation, will they see this and finally say, you know what? This isn't the place to be?
I think so, because
you think so?
You remember the woman who in California, she's running for mayor now. She's part of the alphabet community. She was Black woman. She said it was Republicans. She said white Black Republicans that stood up for her when she was reporting the
the
bathroom
the situation with her in the bathroom with the dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was only, and she realized, she was like, hold on, none of the Democrats, no liberals were defending. So she had a moment where she realized, hold on, they don't even care about women. And what I did see trending on X was a lot of Black women saying, hold on, y'all care more about that community than you do women. And it's something that we've been saying the entire time. They don't care about women. That's why they can say, my body, my choice over here. We want our women's rights. But hold on. As Tim McBride, I don't care, that's his dead name. He wanted to say his name is Sarah McBride. Tim McBride wanted to say that a threat to trans women is a threat to all women. That is what he said. And I think every woman that is Democrat, Republican, all that, a biological woman should stop and say, hold on, what do you mean? Because we are not the same. What you say, Celeste? They not like us. So I don't know what they
Dion, what are your thoughts, sister?
Well, I hadn't actually heard about this until just now. So it's pretty surprising to me. I mean, it seems like we've been seeing more and more circumstances of the left eating their own. I mean, if this party is not falling apart, I can't see why people can't see it. How they are just falling all the way apart. I know one thing. I'm sick of her. She can't ever state what she's running on. It's always, pulling the race card. That's the only thing they know how to do, which is pretty. It's old, of course, to all of us. We're all exhausted from hearing it. But if she manages to win that primary, I mean, that's how it's going to be done. Is she's just doing the same old, pulling the same old. But I hadn't even seen or heard the clip of Trump speaking in favor of Jasmine Crockett. I need to find that and listen to it. You don't happen to have that clip, do you?
No.
No? Okay. I got to check that out.
Duffel bag.
Yeah. This is news to me as well. This is news to me. I was definitely taken aback. Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Not to say that, because I'm objective. I'm objective. If someone says something that I agree with, and I don't generally disagree with, generally speaking, I disagree with whatever they say, then if they say something right that I agree with, then I can put that aside and say, all right, this person is right. You're right about that. And Jasmine, the crock pot was doing so good. For the first 5 or 8 seconds of her speech, she was doing so good. Is she going back to that the calm college girl when she was talking all calm and having decent conversations? She was doing that. I was like, yes, okay, now I can bear to hear you speak. And then she threw the race card in there. Why can't you just talk without mentioning that? I am so tired of hearing you talk about that. Everybody, just stop talking about it. Talk about whatever it is that's going on that people need you to speak on. Talk about Mamdani running on the idea of not raising cost of living for people in New York, and now he's talking about raising taxes for people in New York.
Yeah,
let's talk
and
about
still
that.
Taking money from the pension fund.
And listening to him talk, I was listening to him talk today. He's like, yeah, well, Mamdani, I have to give him credit. He is an excellent speaker. He is an excellent speaker. So he was talking about, yeah, in order to reach these certain goals, we'll have to pull away from this and not. And I'm like, oh, I see why he may have swayed a lot and influenced people to vote for him. But I just cannot. And the rest of the people in the videos I've never heard of, so I can't really speak on them. But I just wish she just talk about stuff that is affecting people. That's it. That's all. I actually would like to hear what it is that you have to say about this. Whatever else is people want you to talk about, instead of you being a Black woman, you being oppressed because you're Black, and just the typical race bait of a lot of Black people in particular in politics. I'm just tired of it, man. She lost me.
I got to push back on you on that. I appreciate that she did that. I appreciate, because she showed the hand of the Democrats. So you are not. So when you speak so highly of the Democrats all the time, and you drag the Republicans as the racists and this and the racist that, and they're the triple K and this and that. This is a time where everybody can see, wait, hold on. Did you just say that your own party is racist? That now that moves in some people's mind. Like, hold on. They're attacking a Black woman because, as I would say, the Black woman vote, 92% strong for the Democratic Party. And for them to feel, hold on, you are doing a Black woman wrong. Are we missing something? So our party is racist. I think I actually appreciate that she made sure to say that in this instance regarding this, so that somebody's eyes could open up. I agree with you for 90%. Most of the time, I agree with you on that one, Spaces, because I agree with you. Wish she could talk about something outside of her race, but in this instance, I think it was important, and I'm glad she did do it.
I can't grab onto either side, right? Trump advocating for Jasmine advocating for Trump. I can't jump on it just yet because I need some backup. I need some follow through. I can't let you just make this one statement and then tomorrow you want to hold you right back to where you started from. Give me some more backup, and then I'll be a little bit more patient with hearing you talk.
Well, she said that they are darkening her skin in ads and things of that nature. I don't know how true it is. I don't live in Texas, so they don't run those ads out here. But at the same time, I don't put it past them to do something along those lines. I don't put it past them to do it.
And they do that to white people too. If you remember, they did that to Joe Rogan. CNN did it to Joe Rogan.
They did.
When he was in dispute with them over how he was able to get well when he had COVID. So that's a common technique that they do to everybody.
Yeah. Well, they did it with Trump too. I mean, they showed, they did it. They made sure they showed him extra dark and orange. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they did it a lot. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Because then they either do it on the negative or the positive. Because remember how they made Renee Nicole look because they wanted people to be supportive, and they did the same thing for Alex Petty.
Oh yeah, they done fixed his whole face up and everything. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. Don't put it past them.
All right. Well, hey, we'll keep it moving. We'll see what happens with this. I do think that the Trump administration, in the, I guess the sense of fairness, they're pushing to try to make sure that Jasmine Crockett gets as much airtime as everybody else. That is the goal. But it's not really about her. They just believe that if she can win the primary, there is no way that she will beat anybody on the Republican ticket, whether it's Wesley Hunt or Cornyn or who's the other guy that's running on the GOP side? And I can't remember right now off the top of my head. Doesn't matter.
That would be so funny.
They don't think that she can beat any of those guys. And based off of the polls, it has come out that, she has a high probability of winning the primary. That's why the DNC and those guys, they're trying to freeze her out. They're trying to. Because the poll numbers say she can beat no one in the general election down there, in the statewide election. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We shall.
All right, let me read a couple super chats, and then we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to pivot from politics to this crazy freaking story that I found the other day. It's kind of made its rounds, but we got to talk about it. Shout out to the real H.M.C. Shout out to you, brother, joining the ARP family. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Papa Die says Crystal's got that new cologne called New Books. It drives her wild.
I cannot.
Hey, Papa, I don't even know why I'm laughing at that, but there must be an inside joke.
I'm gonna tell you what happened last night in Bible study. After we finished Bible study, it was a very heavy one. Then afterwards, we started cracking jokes, and I asked people, I said, "Do y'all miss the smell of books? The brand new books when you go into the library and you open up the book, the smell of a book." And I was like, I just love that smell. That's like one of my favorite smells. And Papa Dad won't let me go after I said that. I love the smell of it.
Hey, Papa Dad got new books and he's putting it on.
Yeah, let me say this. Papa Dad just said that he bought my book, so I can't be involved in any kind of talking about Papa Dad. That is my man, 50 grand. Can't do it.
I can do it. Shout out to Papa Dad for buying the book, man. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you to Misty Dawn joining the ARP family as well. We appreciate you, Misty. Thank you for supporting the channel. We appreciate you. And thank you to Mark coming through with the $20 super chat. Says, I'm late. Much love to you all. And what are you doing? We up here chilling.
Thank you.
Here chilling. As I say all the time, I just try to mind the business that pays me. So I try to stay out of other folks, stuff. Although, I guess to an extent, I'm kind of always in other folks' stuff to an extent. Not like Dion, though.
Oh, I'm
What's
sorry.
up, Elder Travis? How you doing, brother?
Hey, Elder Travis.
Hey, how you doing? My apologies. Bible study.
No worries. No worries. I got the message. I got the memo. So you're all good.
Why?
Okay.
It's Ken Paxton is the third person.
Ken Paxton. That's the name.
That's right.
I knew it was. That's right. Shout out to House Mouse joining the ARP family. Thank you very much, House Mouse. We appreciate the support. What up, DeAndre? West Coast in the building, Bay Area. It says the 92% will make excuses for it. Come on now, we don't curse over here. But he said they ain't sure ain't going to the Republican side. Nah, we know they're not going to do that. We know that even though they can show, you can see the blatant racism on that side of things. For whatever reason, man, that Stockholm syndrome is real. It's very real.
There's been more Black women, like my friend Christina, who what's his name, Anton Daniels and them. They put out her video where she talked about where she was Democrat, and she's now full on Republican, and she's standing up for. She's like, I'm not even going. She's like, I'm not even going to be independent. I am conservative. I'm 100% conservative. And I'm seeing more and more Black women that are making that content, that are standing up, and they're boldly saying, we stand with conservative values. We don't fall in line with that. And don't even talk about the barbs all over the X. They are coming out boldly and saying it too. They're like, listen, Nikki pointed us into some information, and now we did the research, and she's right. So
yeah, I mean, it's hard to stay on that side of things once you do the research. If you take the time to do your own due diligence, at that point, you're just making a conscious decision saying, you know what, I agree with all of that at that point, if you decide to stay. And I do agree. Is it 92%? No. Has that number dropped to maybe 85%? Potentially. Maybe. That wouldn't be too bad, though. That wouldn't be too bad. I know. Look at that. Celeste saying, I don't know about 85%. What are you saying, 90?
Well, I would say 85% on women alone is that's a tough leap. I do think we can get there. I don't think we can get there by midterms, but I think slowly but surely we will get there, because I definitely think we'll get the men, and I think slowly but surely more and more women are going to come over.
And I think the election integrity that is being revealed, it may show stuff to be a little bit different, because I know over here in Fulton County, show things to be a little bit different.
Tiffany Henry just moved over there. How's that looking?
Yes, she did. Did she open up like a chicken wing spot or something like that out there?
No idea. I didn't know.
That was like a bodega.
I think that's a better occupation for her.
Clothing store.
I do. I think she has found her spot, and we got to support her and buy a wing or two,
support what she's doing,
or get you 10 flats or something. We have to help Tiffany. She realized she was in over her head, and she should go back and fry some chicken. So I'm glad to hear this. This is positive.
It's a clothing store, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's a clothing store? Okay, that'd be out of business.
I say, Atlanta's the place you come and rebuild your life. Please, come on now. You can be a hot mess, and you come to Atlanta, you become famous. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark with the $10 super chat. Says, I watched Trump show true heartfelt love for the Black community today, and many shared the same love from what I saw. I'm an old white guy, by the way, very old. Laugh out loud.
Did you watch it?
I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet. No. Oh, you're talking about at the Black History Month. Yeah, I just watched clips of it, bits and pieces of it. I'll take some time there.
Watch it. I teared up when I said the Holy Spirit was present, and Grandma's my favorite. It was Grandma.
I did see that clip.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to take some time and go through. I just saw a couple. I watched a couple of the clips on X, but I'd like to watch the full thing in full. We'll see. Shout out to Mark with the $10 super chat. Says 10 for the Bible studies. Amen. Appreciate you, Mark. And thank you to Mark once again with the $5 super chat. Says, what's the artist and the song that you close out with your vids with? I can find it. No, you're not gonna find it on the apps. It's only exclusive here. If you're a member of the channel, it is in the membership. So if you're a member, you can go there. It's in there. But you're not going to find it anywhere else. It's exclusive to the channel. All right, we're going to keep it moving. I want to play this clip for you guys. And yeah, this is interesting. Look at that. Mark says, the $20 super chat says, Crystal, I did too. Okay. Oh, he said, I guess he teared up a little bit. Shed one or two tears. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to sit down. I'm sure the whole thing is on. It's got to be on YouTube somewhere. So
I can send it to you. It's on the White House YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah, send it over to me. Check it out. All right, check this clip out, man. This is crazy.
Who is willing to take care of you, the kids, and the household, but has no ambition worth staying with.
When you say take care of, what do you?
Hold up. Let me see if I can. Hold up. I want to make sure I got that right.
Is a man who is willing to take care of you, the kids, and the household, but has no ambition worth staying with.
When you say take care of, what do you mean?
He pays all the bills. He take care of the kids. He step in. How he do that with no ambition? No, he got money. I want more.
You know what?
And he's complacent.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the year when the job market is cooked, when the housing market is cooked, when people are walking away from their children, you got somebody at home that is paying your bills. He is taking care of you, and he is taking care of your kids, and you are figuring out, should I leave him? Are you cool?
Unfortunately, for a lot of men, there are so many women telling them you have to be more ambitious. And it's because they want the ambition to look like what they want it to look like. But his ambition is waking up every day and going to work. Waking up every day and showing up for my children. Showing up for my home. Like, that's just as ambitious. You know how ambitious you have to be when you are going through depression? Your girl is telling you you need to do more, and then you don't feel like you're good enough, but she don't know the mental and emotional and spiritual battles that you have and how you still trying to show up for your home. That's ambition, baby. Take a moment, read, I think it's 1 Timothy 5:8. Because what it talks about is a man who neglects his home is the same as a man who denies his faith. This man is taking care of his home. There is faith and grace in that. He is being provisional. He's still leading. So we have to acknowledge that, because if not, you're going to lose that. Like, that's a gem, baby.
I make my own money. I make more than him.
Ooh.
Right?
And you said he pays all the bills?
Yeah.
And you make more money?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you make more money than him, and I want you to know that was not done by mistake. That was a systemic thing that was put into place so that the black woman can be elevated to start looking at their men like they're not doing enough.
Oh.
It is very intentional, the fact that you make more money, and even though your man is showing up for you, you start looking at him for like, why can't you do more?
The fact that this man is covering the bills, even though he knows you make more, let me tell you what he's doing. This man is willing to maybe put things on pause so that you can elevate. Think about it. What you make becomes almost just yours. What you choose to do, you have the freedom to pivot and pivot and pivot. Try this, go to school, because this man is saying, I'm going to sacrifice and take care of the foundational things so that you can have a choice whether or not you want to work or not. And so when you saying that man lacked ambition, I just think it's ambition in a direction you can't recognize.
What is wrong with these women in 2026? When you got a man that gets up, goes to work on a day-to-day basis, he pays all the bills, spends time with the kids, spend time with you. That's not enough? That's not being considered ambitious? That sounds like an extremely ungrateful woman. I would not want to be in that household with her. You know, the word says a man would rather, hide out in the attic. And it actually, there's about 3 different places where he talks about, you know what I'm saying, than dealing with some quarrelsome woman. You know what I'm saying? And she comes across as a very quarrelsome person, just based on even the way they were reading her and she rolling her eyes and all this other kind of stuff. She better be careful. That dude might be biding his time until these kids get grown and he gonna chuck the deuces at her. Elder Travis, I'll give you the first word on this, but this is insane.
I'm with you. One of those verses says, rather for a man to be on the rooftop of a house than be in the same house with a quarrelsome woman. It's one thing that I usually tell people. You have those women that I hate to say it this way, that's been created by God, that knows their way, know their purpose, know who they are. And then you have the cultured women. That is a term that I use because I don't like saying stuff like she this, she that. I say the cultured woman. And the cultured woman, if you go back to the story of Adam and Eve, there's so many different revelations you can pull from it. But if you go to the story of Adam and Eve, she did not question God. She questioned what that man told her because God never spoke to her. And that's what people miss. And so what happens is, what I love in the Bible, it says that she looked at the fruit and she said to him the words that was quoted from Adam to her. We can eat of every fruit of this tree except for this particular fruit. What I love about I believe it's the NIV or the NLT, I'm a King James guy. Satan looked at her and say, will you really die? Like, will you? He made her question the value of the words that her man gave her. So when this girl is talking about this whole situation, she's even talking about how she makes more, as if the value of what he do is based on what he make, which is what culture pushes. Culture pushes that our value is based on what we make. And granted, in some parts, we need to do better. We need to take care of our family. I believe that 100%. My grandparents were married over 65 years, and he took care of everything. I've never seen her work. My mother, over 30 years, does not work. I believe in all that. Take care of your household, take care of your woman. But at the same time, she's a cultured woman to me. Satan, to me, represents social media. Hey, you should get this. This looks better. He got more muscles. He has more money. He might look a little better. Because what she intentionally did, when you look at the cycle of how God did things, he created man, and then he comes behind that and says it is not good for man to be alone. Right after that, the Bible says he brings him every beast of the field that he created. They weren't good enough. I will make him a helpmeet. And in the term of that, it means one that is suitable. That's why I tell a lot of brothers, when you picking your female, when the Bible says that helpmeet, one that is suitable, she will fit every need that you have. She would have took that money and said, well, since I make more, let's build more. Let's pour more. Let's create more. Let's elevate more. But
let's
when
invest
you're a part
more.
of the culture, you do like what Eve do. What did the Bible say? It says she saw that it was desirable and good for the eye. I tell a lot of people, I don't care how you feel. When I be talking to people, when you're talking about your emotions, put Bible on it. Let's talk about it. Get out your feelings and let's put Bible on it. But when you say how you feel, it goes back to what she did. It looked more desirable. She saw that it was good for the eye. She brought it back to him. And because he don't know no better, he forgot for some reason what God told him. He took it and look at where we are today. And so I just look at it like that. You have that powerful God-fearing woman, and then you have that culture woman. They're not the same people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Crystal, I'll give you the next word. I feel sorry for this brother, though. I really do. And the way this woman got on here, I mean, this thing is going viral. Yeah. I'd feel extremely disrespected. And I don't remember who I was listening to, but it was a pastor. It might have been Pastor Turnbull who said this, that when you are a single man and you're vetting a woman, do it with your eyes closed. Don't do it looking at her, because you will be enamored by her looks. Maybe, she got, nice hind parts or whatever the case may be, beautiful face. Do it with your eyes closed. Listen to what she's saying.
Let me add that. He remember Adam said, this is flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. I translate that as, God dang, girl, you fine. He done lost everything God done told him.
Yep. Crystal, we'll give you the next word.
This is what I love Elder Travis, but I can quickly call people a gutter bunny very quickly. The gutter bunny will come out, because that was gutter bunny behavior. I'm just going to tell y'all that right now.
It was definitely.
Because that woman was filled with the Jezebel spirit. I don't care what nobody said. That was straight Jezebel spirit. Yeah. Because she got up on that microphone and she said, he pays all the bills. He takes care of you. He loves me. He takes care of the children, but he has no ambition. And the Bible says in Proverbs 14:1, a wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. And you watch this woman, that's literally what she was doing. She was tearing down that man. And I want to also point out in Proverbs 12:4, it says a worthy wife is a crown for a husband, but a disgraceful woman is like cancer in his bones. And that is what she is. Because I want to point out something. A true woman would have been able to help open up, sharpen whatever is inside that man, to help guide him into where he's supposed to be, sharpen him, protect him, encourage him. Because let's just say maybe this man is not in his purpose. He's doing what he's supposed to do to make sure his family is taken care of. But of the love of the woman, the support of the woman, not a nagging woman, not a I make more money than he has. But a true woman of God, a true Proverbs 31 woman would be able to help to unwrap that hidden gift or purpose that the Lord has put in him. But that speaks volumes of this woman because she can't even unwrap that. All she can do is nag and whine. And I agree with what that woman said, because it is on purpose through society that she's making more money than that man. Because it's a way of making Black women continue to tear down Black men. And I won't even just say Black women and Black men, because a lot of women nowadays, these liberal coonies over there, they
Yes.
really just love to
Yes.
attack a man. They like to emasculate the men. They like to they hold their men's cojones in their hands. That's what they do, and are very disrespectful. So I people like that really sickens me, because they're so ungrateful. They are so entitled. They are so spoiled. And it just upsets me that a lot of men have to go through this beat down, and they will quickly say, y'all don't protect a Black woman. Y'all don't know how to protect a Black woman, but y'all don't protect the Black man either. Like, make it like, tell me how y'all are protecting the Black man when y'all continue to attack him all of the time. It really, really upsets me. I would suggest that lady go read Proverbs 31, read some of those scriptures that I gave her, really dive into the word of God, because clearly she knows nothing and she is embodying that Jezebel spirit. She needs to ask the Lord to uproot that disgusting Jezebel spirit out of her, repent for all of it, because I like, it upsets me for him, because her face was on camera. So again, at the gates, they should be looking at your husband and saying he's blessed. They should be looking at your husband and saying your husband is a man of honor. He has a beautiful wife and he takes care of his home and so on and so forth. But you have your husband looking like a fool in front of everybody, because those who know him know that you're his wife. So you're basically dragging your husband, not even a private conversation anymore. You took it to Front Street. You disrespected your husband in front of all of these people, and now it's viral.
Yeah. And that video just on X alone has 1.8 million views. Spaces, I want to get you in on this conversation before I get one of the ladies. I want to get one of the brothers, another one of the brothers in on this conversation. What's the likelihood that he stays with this woman after this? I mean, how many people in his family, his mother? I mean, I know if my mama wouldn't want to see me disrespected like this. You know what I'm saying? My grandma definitely wouldn't, because I was grandma's boy. You know, she had 3 girls. I was the first grandson. So I was like her first son. She wouldn't want to see this. She would be upset and livid. But what's the likelihood that this man, and I'm not advocating for divorce, but there needs to be a real conversation with this woman. Don't you ever in your life do something like this again.
The thing about this though is, regardless of, you know, even the fact that it's got 1.8 million views on X, even if he divorces her, there's going to be some man that picks her up again.
Maybe.
That's the
well. I think she'd be, you know, play toy. I don't know if somebody would marry. Those are 2 totally different things.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I'm not necessarily arguing marry or not marry. I'm just talking about, like, some man is going to take care of her. Some man is going to come around and be like, yeah, I want you, because she's not an ugly lady, right? I think she was cheating on him. I think while she was with him, she found a man that showed her what's better than the situation that she has, and now she wants it all the time. And I have to push back on you guys. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him, because for her to get to this point, she had to be showing signs that he ignored before they got married. She had to be showing signs of entitlement to him. So I don't feel sorry for him. And I had the unfortunate, what is now unfortunate, experience of going to 3 of tonight's conversation shows. And let me tell you, it is the abyss of people that are there. I'm talking
Explain
like
that. Elaborate on that a little bit. Explain that.
so at the end of the show, they have people come up and ask questions to do just like what you just saw. And the worst type of relationship, man and woman situationships go on. Like specifically, a woman came up and said, "I'm dating a married man, but he's my man." Talking
so
about
it's just ratchet like that, though.
It's just the abyss of people when it comes to relationships that are there. So with this lady, she's only doing what he allows her to do.
Yep.
And that's why I think, to answer your question, Mr. Wise, he's not going to divorce. It's going to be a while before he divorces her, unless he gets to a certain point where he is so embarrassed that he can't take it anymore. He's stuck. He's stuck because if she's going, well, I don't know how it's going to work out in court, because she said, think about this. That man is the man that the absolute overwhelming majority of women want. I don't know of a single woman that, there's a rare case of woman that says, my man is the perfect man at home. He's the perfect man in marriage, take care of the kids, take care of the house, pays all the bills. I keep all of my money, but he's still not good enough. It's cooked. If ever you guys have someone save this video in your phones, put a special link somewhere, so whenever you have a conversation about what the dating realm is like these days, send them this video. Like, what else could you want? You're keeping all of your money.
Right.
If that dude is good for you, no dude is good for you. And I think, you know what? Just bring back arranged marriages. Because
I'm with you on that one, bro. I've been on that for a little bit. I've definitely been on that for a bit.
Apparently, the freer people get, the worse decisions they make for themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah. Now you dropped the bar right there, and I'm there with you on that. And I do want to push back just slightly on, there are some other dudes that would deal with her. I think after watching this right here, before she opened her mouth, you was like, oh, she's cute. And the more as she continued to talk, that wherever she was on the scale, it ticked lower and lower and lower and lower as she continued to talk. And I just think men in this era I think they're a little more astute than we were maybe 20 years ago, to where, men would see a woman, and I think so. Now, I think, would guys say, hey, maybe they would, smash or something? I'm not trying to be crass, but would they go there? Yeah. But would they go much further than that after seeing this? I mean, you'd be a fool to do so. Now, I mean, there are some fools out there, but you would be a fool to do this. Seriously, you would. And the thing is that, And I just want
to push back real quick on, he might not have seen that side of her. Meaning, as you said, maybe somebody some rich somebody, she may have been cheating. Let's just say somebody was cheating on her. She was cheating with. And they showed her something different. And that emboldened her to behave like that. Because she could have been, quote unquote, sweet and humble. Everything was fine. The marriage was fine and everything was fine. But then, she's sitting on Instagram seeing people do this and that. And then some man offers her this and that. And then she's looking at her man. I'm so sick of you. Everybody else gets to go and I don't get to go. And this other man is like, listen, if you leave him, I got you. You will never listen. We can travel the world. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that she was like that from the very beginning. And even when they were talking and they said to her, he gave you the ability to try different things, find the best job, so on and so forth. She was agreeing. So probably he gave her that ability. And the more and more she just felt empowered and emboldened to behave like that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that she was like that initially. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it could be, but not necessarily, because somebody else giving her something might just switch her mind real quick.
Yeah. Dion, I'll give you the next word, and Celeste, you can follow it up and finish it out.
Yeah, it's just really sad to see how fickle women can be nowadays. This young lady, I mean, as they were talking to her and they were making some wise points to her, you could just see in her face how she was rejecting all of it. She was not in a mode of, I think it was this preacher named G. Craig Lewis who would talk about people being in
I like G.
transmitter
Craig
mode.
Lewis. Yeah.
I love him. Have watched him for years. But people being in transmitter mode, all they do is spew out, spew out, spew out, but they are not open to receive any kind of correction or instruction or suggestion even. She was dripping with pride, this young lady. Just ungrateful, just haughty. And I was gonna say, just like Crystal, that she may not have started out that way, but maybe she has met someone like you said, and caused her to turn, or something happened, could have been, that turned her to be this way. But she gonna cry a river one day, because that man is a good man, and if he values himself at all, I can't see him stand with her either, because she's ungrateful. I mean, anytime that she appears to be appears to have the kind of mindset that, I mean, she values a man's status in life over building home and taking care of family. I mean, that's sad. That is the thing that most women want and look for. So it's pitiful, really, to say.
I
And
have a
that's exactly.
question before you go, Space. I have a question for the ladies. If the women do make more money than the men, is there any responsibility that comes with making and earning more money in said relationship? Is there any responsibility that comes with that?
Yes.
Definitely put it back in the household, in the family. I mean,
Yes.
you're raising children, so you want to leave an inheritance for them, of course.
And
So you should be definitely how you have, if you have a business, you make profits, you put the money back into the business. Well, you bring it back into the family, continue to build the family.
And the thing is, somehow the people forgot that marriage is the two shall become one. And for some weird reason, people forget that. So it's not he does everything and whatever. My money's for me to spend and so on and so forth. I don't care. It is, you are a family unit. Two shall become one. And I think because people make marriage a joke or business contracts and not a covenant of God, this is why you see behavior like this. And I just have to add, this is people like her is why it makes single people like us very difficult, because then they see someone like her and they think all women think like that, because you will hear, all women, no, don't do that. Don't do that, because we are not all like that.
So the reason why I say but this is not new to her behavior. She was showing signs of it, because in order for her to go out and cheat, she had to be showing signs that he was overlooking. If that be the case, well, I'm just under the impression that she did. In order for her to come on now, and that doing that when it's solidified is like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like what I have now. There's got to be something better.
Yeah, but I think that was what I was saying, because you said he should have saw that from the beginning. We were just saying it doesn't necessarily mean that there were signs from the beginning. Maybe she switched within the marriage. She may have switched up when she started getting complacent and so on and so forth. But
She may not have been making. Yeah, Crystal, you're right. She may not have been making as much money.
That's exactly right.
In the beginning, and now she realized I make more. Now you need to make more. When he's like, what I make takes care of us, and it has been taking care of us. So that's why I ask, is there any responsibility that comes with earning money? And you hear all these new age women. Now, I'm not one that believes in this whole partnership stuff. Oh, this is my partner. I don't believe in that. Because that's not God's order. This whole partnership, we are equal to the same in this situation. We're not. But you hear that, and then you turn around and hear women say, oh, yeah, but that's my partner, but he needs to make all the money and all of this, but we get equal say. That's not how it should work. You know what I'm saying? We either going to be equals and get equal say, or I'm going to be the head of this thing. It's going to be God, husband, you, children. And I'm gonna get the last say in this, but we can't have it both ways. So I'll give you the last word, and then we'll keep it moving.
So yeah, I want to say that I think that was absolutely humiliating for her husband. And I mean, I can give a lot of grace to women in a lot of circumstances, even if those are your feelings. I'm sure every marriage encounters its problems. Whatever those problems are, do not need to be blasted to 1.8 million people ever. So I don't, it could be this, it could be anything. I don't care what's going on in your marriage. It should not be, possibly, a minister or some wise counsel that you have somewhere that you can honestly, confidentially seek for some real guidance. I totally appreciate your point in saying you have to be open and receptive to actually wanting some guidance. I also think that this woman is not a creative woman, because she's actually in a wonderful position, because the fact that her husband is able to sustain them, what that does is that gives her the opportunity to grow that family, like you said, to invest, maybe to do real estate, maybe to start a business. But you now have the ability to put your family in the place that probably you and your husband would want it to be. And he's created the foundation for you to do that. It's unfortunate that no one has been able to speak to her and show that to her, like, wait, you've got a great thing going. What you want, you're in the best position to actually get, because you have the ability in a way others don't have at the moment. I think maybe that would have been, like I said, some wise counsel or somebody who could show her that was a good situation. But I will say, when I heard this, when I saw this, I was reminded of the old rap lyrics, "You're headed for self-destruction," because that's all that was going through my mind, because they started wrong. And I'm with spaces. Y'all know I've said this on many occasions. I even wrote about it in the book. I'm for the whole arranged marriages, or at least something better than what we are doing right now. Because if it is true, my question is this: did this man tell her that she needed to get on his program, and that this is what his program is? And in fact, this program may never change. It may never be any more than this. And are you okay with it? Is this something you can live with? I don't know that that happened. I don't know that that happened. This could just be like most people are, two people who get along, who like each other, who fell in love, who got married, and who didn't really think about any of the details about how and what, in fact, it's going to take to actually live their lives. So if you know at the beginning, this man walks up to you and says, "This is the life that I want, and this is the life that I'm able to provide." At that point, the woman has the choice to say, "Yes, I want to join you in that life, and I want to help you. I want to help you in that life." But when that does not happen, when everybody's just getting together willy-nilly, wise, you say this about the show, which is a great way to run a successful show. I'm not sure it's a way to run a marriage. What that is we fly in the plane as we go. Then
Oh,
you
no. We build in the plane as we fly it.
That's right.
Now, you're
We're
going
building
crazy.
the plane. We're building the plane as we go. That's not the way to do a marriage. You're supposed to be some expectations, some parameters that I get up front and that I can actually agree to. I don't think I think it's very possible that none of that was ever shared with this woman. She never agreed to anything, never thought of it. He never thought of it. The two of them thought that their love was going to take them for forever, which is what a lot of people unfortunately think. And life happens, and people change, and the things that you want at 20, you may not want at 35, and the things that you want at 35, you may not want at 42, and all of those things come into play, and all of a sudden you turn around and go, well, you know what, I think I'd like more. The unfortunate thing, like I said, I think we really have to pay attention. And Crystal said, people have made marriage a joke. As much as people downplay marriage as a business contract, at least it's something serious. At least if we all had to walk in and put something on paper and maybe go to our parents, and my side of the family says, this is what we want for Celeste. And his side of the family says, this is what we're going to be able to offer Celeste. At least at that point, people are taking it seriously. But just to say, we're two people, we don't need any guidance. We don't have to ask anybody for nothing. I think he's cute. He thinks I'm cute. And we're going to live forever on that. You're headed for self-destruction. And God, let that be a lesson. Maybe 1.8 million people just got a lesson. Get serious about being somebody and realize there are some things that it's going to require to be with someone to death do you part. That, God willing, is a long time. It's going to require some things, and you should, to the best of your ability, try to firm some of that up front. I remember I knew a guy way back when that told me what I thought was one of the most brilliant things that I'd ever heard. And he said that marriage is a negotiation that begins today into the future. And that's about what it's going to take. I just feel like people need to get a whole lot more serious on both sides. But just to say, oh, you're cute and I'm cute, and what's good for us today at 22, that's going to be exactly what we both going to want at 42. That's a ridiculous idea. And you are headed for self-destruction.
You are so right, Celeste.
Should it push come to shove and he wakes up and grabs his manhood back from her, he could use his video in divorce court.
Yeah. Definitely.
Here's my thing. I actually think they made their bed. I'm not for, even if she wants more, I'm not for her leaving, and I'm not for him leaving. Y'all said to death do you part, for better or for worse.
I'm with that.
This is for worse. Now y'all stay and work it out. All I'm saying is,
at least for the kids,
try up front to stop avoiding, to do what you can do to avoid some of these problems.
And I think people always, and I love what you said, Celeste, because I had this conversation with a male friend of mine. And I said, you met me when I was 27. I am a whole 45. If my brain is still the 27-year-old young woman that you met at 45, I'd be very concerned. I'd be absolutely concerned. Are my values the same? Yes. Is my character the same? Yes. But the things that I thought was everything when I was 27 is not the same thing that I will think is everything at 45.
Correct.
And that is, when you're married, this is why when I said it's a covenant and God should be in the midst of your marriage, there's a reason for that. Because as we shift as people, because we're not going to be the same as we get older, as we shift as people, God has to help you to give that grace to your spouse as they shift, and God got to give them the grace necessary to accept you as you shift, because it's a whole process. You're going to keep growing and shifting. My grandmother married my grandfather when she was 19. They were married until he went to heaven for 59 years. Mm-hmm. And she said, and she kept learning new things about my grandfather, learning new things. And as he grew, her love shifted and grew with him. And the same thing for him with her. His love shifted and grew with her. Whatever, as she became a woman, as he became a man, it just kept shifting and growing. But that was only through God's guidance. And that's why people need that type of godly covenant within their marriage. And they need to have that kind of understanding, because what you just said is spot on. People be like, girl, you cute. Man, you fine. You real fine. You fine. So we're going to have pretty babies. So let's get married, because we're going to have real pretty babies. And, I want babies with that real long hair. That's the foolishness you get. And then I have a friend who, glad she's not watching. that she married her husband, and her husband was in an industry. I'm not gonna say the industry. And her husband was in an industry, and in this industry, she wasn't happy about the industry that he was in. He was in the industry before they got married, and then after they got married, she wanted him to leave the industry. But you married him in the industry. This is how he made his money. Why are you mad at him? And don't worry, she ain't gonna be mad that I said that, because I have said it on my channel multiple times, because I just don't understand that thinking. You met him like that. If he introduced something to you that you didn't understand, I can understand. But this is how you met him. This is how he was making his money. This is how he was living. And it's nothing illegal. I'm just gonna say it's nothing illegal. I'm just saying it was, we'll put it this way, it was in the entertainment industry. And she was like, well, I thought he would leave it. Why did you think that? Why did you think that? Well, because he was marrying me.
That is exotic dancer.
Oh my God. Nah, he was an exotic dancer.
It's gonna be
That's
simple
the same
things
thing I
like
thought.
like I dated somebody years and years ago who was a bartender. Okay, that's fine. But here's the deal: I realized I don't want to date somebody who worked at night, because I can't stay up late. You can't be up early. We're not compatible. That's fine. He can go find somebody who can stay up at night. I can find somebody that gets up early in the morning. That's somebody more my speed. He can find somebody more his speed. The fact of the matter is, it's okay that everybody's not going to work for you, or you're not going to work for everybody. What's not okay is not knowing these things up front. That's where a lot of the conflict comes in. If we're all honest, and if I can say, this is really what I want for my life. And if you are a man and you're listening to that, you could say that's something that you think you could provide, or it isn't. And I can say yes or no and walk away. And you get to do the same. You could say, you're the type of person I want, that I think can bring me peace and comfort and help me build in my home. Or, I just don't think that you're the type of woman that can do that. And you could say no. But the fact of the matter is, nobody goes into this thing seriously. Crystal, you had it. Everybody thinks this is play time, and that all of that euphoric feelings of love and all of that you have year one and year two is going to take you through all time, and it's not. It's not.
That you know how many people I know when I used to work in the nightlife clubs. When I say nightlife, let me just clarify.
Yeah,
Clubs.
clarify. You
The
know, we
clubs
always hear the BC Crystal.
No, not
don't.
I used to work with a lot of clubs
The
here.
clubs where she used to be fighting.
Yeah. When I used to work in clubs, there were a lot of girls that dated the promoters, and then they would marry the promoters. But then they would be upset that the promoters are still at the clubs, and girls are flirting with the promoters to get into the club. And I'm like, what did you think? Well, when you married him, what did you think was going to happen? Like, how are you upset about he already showed you all this prior. So it wasn't something that you didn't know. The girls were still flirting when y'all were dating, and you saw the girls flirting with him, and hey, let me in the club tonight, that type of stuff. What did you think after y'all said I do? Did he promise you he was going to leave? No, he didn't. So what did you think was going to happen? And that's what I'm saying. If you have all the information up front and you still go in there and then you want to complain, that's on you. That's nobody else, but that is your fault that you made that decision.
Absolutely.
I just think, and I'm sorry, Mr. White, super quick. I just think,
make it quick, super quick.
Yeah, super quick. I just think, when it comes to this, it's tough to say, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, Mr. Les, because I don't disagree. I don't agree with advocating for divorce, especially when they have kids. But it's in one hand we're saying stay with this woman, but we also say it's better to live on the corner of a house than deal with the quarrelsome woman.
True, but at the same time, sacrifice has to be made for these kids. That's a problem right now. You have too many people disregarding their children, and we understand that the best privilege that you could have in the United States of America is family privilege, not white privilege, black privilege, Hispanic privilege, family privilege. So if you chose poorly, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to stick that out at least until these kids is grown. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't have to suffer for your poor choice. Just saying. I want to keep it moving though.
Amen.
Couple super chats and we'll keep going. Shout out to Mark with the $20 super chat. Says, Crystal, I did too. Okay, I think I might have read that one already. And shout out to Mark becoming an ARP family member. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Shout out to Deb with the $10 super chat. Says, Crystal, once you get into DC as Congresswoman of Georgia, the winds of change will blow Daniel. Chapter 7, verse 2. The four winds of heaven refer to change coming from every direction, and many women will come forth. Okay.
Aw, thank you, Deb.
I like that. And thank you, Sin Sin. She says, while she disrespected her husband, he's done well as a good and faithful husband, and she's taking away from his worth. He deserves better. He definitely does. Hopefully, this will point them in a direction of some counseling. And I'm not talking about these wicked witch counselors, that they go to. I'm talking about some biblical counseling. I'm talking about, hey, can we get with, a man and a God, and let's get into the scriptures. Let's figure this thing out. Hopefully they go that route. I don't know if they will, but they should. And I don't advocate for counseling with these crazy folks out here in the world. That's not the type of counseling that I would advocate for. Most of these folks, they ain't even got their own lives in order. They trying to get yours in order.
Right.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, Mark, with the $10 super chat. Says, coffee on me, Mr. Taylor. Look at that. And Mark again says, Crystal, thank you. With the $10 super chat. Okay. And shout out to Jessica with the $10 super chat. Says, and the disease is actually that she believes she did nothing wrong. And her pride will keep her from keep her believing that she is justified. Well, hopefully she will see this and reflect, and then go and repent, and then go and apologize to her husband for embarrassing him for the world to see. Hopefully, that's where you start at. Yeah, she definitely she humiliated him, and depending on where he works at, his homies is like, bruh, what are you doing? Shout out to DeAndre. He says, Wise, you got to remember there are always men of the mentality of he didn't know how to treat you. Yeah.
Trying to say there's always
the Captain Save him. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school. We used to call him Captain Kirks back in the day. There's always somebody willing to jump out there and save these pros,
Save the 304s.
There's always we didn't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a child of the 90s, you know what I'm saying? So we was on some different things. We wasn't about saving, but for whatever reason, simp culture is real. It was a bad thing to be called a simp in 90s Atlanta. I'm just saying. It was a bad thing to be called that. Nowadays, these dudes wear that with a badge of honor.
They do.
Shout out to LJ. Says she's going to meet a narcissist. I hope that doesn't happen. She needs to stay with her husband. She needs to stay with her husband. And hopefully she got a good mama and grandmama. Where are the grandmamas? The mamas and I don't know about the mamas, but where are the grandmamas and great grandmas that say, "Child, you need to sit your butt down somewhere"?
She learned that behavior from somewhere.
Nobody listens to them.
They went home to see Jesus.
We're the mothers of the church. You know what I'm saying? The true mothers of the church. I'm not talking about the ones that that are mothers that don't want to be the mothers, but you ma'am, you are the mother now.
Nobody you at the club.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bogo joining the ARP family. Appreciate the support. And thank you to Crypt Keeper Chuck joining the ARP family as well. And thank you, Jessica, again with the $10 super chat. Says, on behalf of all of us single women, we'd like to welcome this new member. We have a special place set aside. Goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Y'all crazy. Shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat. Says, requesting Celeste finish the song.
No, I can't even remember the name of the group.
Funky Freck, no.
Appreciate you, Mark, again. Celeste with the, he said, Celeste, coffee on me. I'm going to have to send y'all some cheese. Mark hooking y'all up today. Thank you, Sin for the $5 super chat. Says, my love to Crystal and Celeste. Love you guys too. But the 2 C's is where I gain strength. What does that mean?
Spaces.
Celeste and Crystal. CC.
The 2 C's. Oh, okay. I got you. Man, that went over my head. Shout out to DeAndre. Said Crystal did midnight ballet. Lord have mercy.
DeAndre, I was very shy about I listen. When we were in high school, people actually talked about that. That's very crazy. In the '90s, that girls were hoping to grow up and do that. The way I love my body, and everybody didn't need to see it like that. Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Good.
I had a daddy, like Wise always says. I had a daddy that did not play.
DeAndre says, "Grandma 45, Mama 30." Lord have mercy.
That part.
Oh,
daughter 15.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah. All righty, let's talk about this daggone movie. I don't know if you guys took the time. Celeste made me watch this movie, so I'm gonna blame her. She'd have forced me to finish watching the movie, so I did. I had to tough through it. It was a tough watch. That's a tough watch, but I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out Relationship Goals. Mike Todd, who I'm just going to say it, I think he's an apostate preacher, but he did write this book called Relationship Goals, and it was supposed to be, it's based off of the book, and produced by Devin Franklin, who I think is another apostate preacher out there as well. And you know, in my opinion, it was just another whack rom-com that failed. You know, it failed at the faith aspect of it. I didn't find anything funny about it. There was supposed to be some comedy. There was nothing, in my opinion, funny about it. The dudes came across as just weak beta simps, and that like really frustrated me to see that. And then, you know, we hear all these sisters out here talking about some don't call the police, and then at the end of the movie, she called the police on that dude to get him hemmed up, to bring him back. I didn't like that. That wasn't a good look, man. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. If I had to put it on a scale 1 to 10, it gets a -1 from me. I would not suggest watching this movie if you haven't. And I definitely have zero intent on ever watching it again. That's just me. Dion, you jumped on it. You was like, I watched the movie. What are your thoughts? I'm sorry for being so negative. It just wasn't good to me.
No, it's okay. I share many of the same sentiments, but I can't stand Mike Todd. Ugh. So I mean, it was hard to watch because of that. I mean, I didn't know. Well, I may have read it, but of course, you know, Method Man. Look, I can't even remember his actual name. Clifford. Is his real life name.
His real name is Clifford?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's better off as Method Man.
Method Man. Yeah, he's still holding on to that Method Man.
Right. His character was, you know, trying to make it seem like he had changed. He had become this changed man because of the book Relationship Goals or whatever. But, you know, it was not convincing that he was changed. I mean, he might have been not being a dog for a period of time, but really nothing. Well, let me start by saying this. I kept having to stop myself because I read that Mike Todd had a lot to do with, you know, this movie or whatever. I don't know who wrote it, but maybe he did. But it wasn't designed to be a Christian movie per se.
No, it wasn't.
They deliberately wanted it to be more palatable for people who were not, you know, in the faith or whatnot. And so that all came across. And I hate these African-American movies with the fake church scenes because it always just looks real fake and phony. The hand raising that people do, they don't know how to do it right and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, Pharisee.
No, I mean, for real though, it just looks.
I'm sorry.
Funny to me. It's laughable. Y'all know I'm right.
I didn't know there was a way that you're supposed to raise your hands, but okay, I got you.
Anyway, so what's her name? Kelly Rowland's her character had, I guess, gone through this season of just not getting involved in relationships, not taking it serious or whatever, throwing herself into her work. But then they meet up. He supposedly claims to have been transformed by the book this pastor wrote. And then the first night they go on an actual date, they take a roll in The Hague. I wasn't shocked by that. I'm like, well, that's just like what you would expect from an apostate pastor. So, overall, it wasn't believable, that all these, oh, we're so changed by this book, and now our lives are going to be perfect and lovely, and we're going to all be in love and live happily ever after. It was blah. It was meh.
What would you rank it? Scale of 1 to 10?
Child, 0. Probably -1, like you said. Just bring it on over to the negative.
Elder Travis, what are your thoughts? Did you take the time to watch it? Could you get all the way through it?
Okay, so I'm not the biggest Michael Todd fan, so let me preference that. So I had to remove my bias. We had me and a couple preacher friends of mine, we had a whole discussion about him. He lost me when he spit in that man's face.
Yeah.
Yes. That's all I ever think about.
So I had to remove myself from that, because if I would have watched it on that tone, I could not even get through it. So I tried to look at it from an outstanding standpoint. So I'm gonna start with some positives. Positives is excluding him. I'm just looking at the fact of, okay, just like she said, he read this book and he allegedly was changed. He went to church. He's holding his hands up like he done been. Nowhere does he confess. This is me adding my space in here.
Right.
Nowhere does he confess that he accepted God. It had changed his life and all of that. So I guess them not adding that eliminates the aspect of making it a Christian movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because he never does that. He just said, I read this book. It changed my life. He goes to church. They throw up their hands. They sit down. Right after that, they kiss, all of that. And as she said, they end up in the hay. As we all know, it shouldn't go that way, especially with the pastor involved. And if, I didn't know that much detail into his writing. I did want to know how much involved he was in it. But for me to see the scenes, him sacrificing his career, the bullheadedness I saw, of course, like they're fighting to get to the top. Okay, he messed up in his past. Y'all got this situation going. Now you're showing the man and the woman clashing at the top. So instead of it being a situation of hierarchy, how we know God created it, it became a situation. I respected the bow out when I took out biasness, but at the same time, the order of God, he bowed out and left his job. Like you left the career path that maybe you should have been doing just to satisfy this situation. And so I look at it like we go back to the guy we just watched. So you sacrifice your career and who you are for her to figure it out. And so just so happened he goes and takes another job, which kudos to him. But what if he doesn't? What if he says, I'm going to just wait and see what she going to do? Now rent is due. This is due. Now she talking like that woman that was on that conversation. And the Bible tells us that a man should not chase a woman or it will lead to his ruin. So there's so many narratives in there that I felt like they were trying to convolute. You had the Mexican lady who felt like nobody wanted her. She dated for looks. She dated for money. And I hate to say it, she dated out of her league. She wasn't dating for the right reason. It looked like they tried to circle back to her finding God and trying to get to the heart. But then there's a man right there. He's loving everything about her, but she don't want him. That ain't who she want. She want the man over here. That's a quick date. It's quick, fast. They study dating. Why we're not teaching the principle of, like they mentioned intention, but she didn't date with intention. She just was like, I'm gonna date myself. You just, come on, give me that element. And again, the Method Man situation, I looked at it as Tupac playing Poetic Justice. Me personally, like you just hardcore gangster, they let Tupac cry on Poetic Justice. I didn't really take too much stock in it. I'm saying the Method Man, I know, Wu-Tang Clan, all of that. Y'all wanted to show him softer. Okay, he pulled that off. And then like you said, at the end, he's getting ready to go on another journey. But now you're pulling me off of my path because I'm sitting here waiting on your feelings. And now you're yelling about you made a mistake. But then where's the God part? That whole part was just kind of, to me, it was just kind of, you didn't convey your message all the way. And again, it could be my biasness. My positive take was, I love the elements of love. love at the end. But overall, like I said, it could be my biasness. Like she said, Transformation Church, I've never seen it. I just remember him saying the speech saying it's called transformation for a reason. Trans are welcome here. And I'm like, where are we going with this in life, sir?
Hadn't heard that.
Where is so stuff like that kind of made it. That's the only part that, you know, because my mind is already my knowledge of what I kind of know of the situation with him, how he moves, how he dressed, how he act. And I'm like, okay, at least he wasn't in the super tight clothes. I'm like, okay, oh, he wrote a book. Oh, that's inspiring. Let's do this. But for me, it was more, even with his wife, she was in it. You know, I'm like, okay, well, maybe we gonna get something. No, you gonna give us no. Okay, we gonna keep it Transformation Church. We really didn't get to the glitz and glamour of it. The basketball player, yes, he could be the typical basketball player. And I'll say my testimony, when I was probably my rookie year, I had a young lady tell me that she was going to leave me. We was living together. She said, I'm gonna pack my stuff. I help her pack the stuff. You're not about to force me into a marriage. My heart ain't there. And so for them to put him in a situation where it was like, if he don't want to do it, force him to do it. I'm like, I didn't like that aspect, because I'm of the adage, if you leave, if we break up, if you go on a break, we're done. There is no coming back. There is no break. You gonna ride this out with me, or you can go in and do what you got to do. So to me, it was just, depending on who you're talking to, but at my vantage point, it's I feel like if I'm a Pastor Mike fan, Pastor Mike might have did it, it had more love in it. I feel like we would have got to the common goal of Christ, God. You barely heard Christ. You barely heard God. You barely heard, like, even the push for marriage came convoluted to me. It wasn't a biblical way of getting there. And it just, for me, it was like another hardworking Black woman that said, I gave up all this. I don't respect men. I don't love men. I was hurt. Da, 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 da. And then it's like, okay, he got to sit there and, in my mind, suffer until you feel like you want me. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. What would you rank it?
Ooh, it's too much confusion. I'll passively give it a 1-2. I'll passively, it's 1.5.
All right, Celeste.
And more so because my hope is, because we are still people of God, my hope is that someone may say, and it's hard to say it based on what we watch, that someone will say that they do want to be married, they do want to find their person, and they do want to be happy. And at the end of the day, that they do want to change. I hope they see that they need to change through it all, because a lot of it was with lists, and I'm like, okay, you got a list and all this other crap. Let me say this point. And in the Proverbs 31 woman, people don't realize that is a mother talking to her son, telling the son what to look for in that woman, not her coming saying, this is my list, I am this proverb. That's not how that scripture is written. It's not written that way. And when you push that narrative, you get what we would call the simp. I'm sorry.
Celeste? I like that. Celeste, I'll give you the word.
Well, first of all, Wise, you got me jammed up in the chat. Everybody's asking me, why did I make everybody watch this film? That is not what happened. That is not what happened. He asked me, Wise asked me, did I see it? I said, yes, I saw it. I said I was in the kitchen cleaning out my refrigerator and it was raining real hard and I wasn't doing nothing and it was on. So I was like, all right, I'll take a look at this. That's what happened. No, this was not me pushing everybody and forcing everybody to watch it. However, with that said, it was generally a terrible movie. The plot was predictable and stereotypical. The characters were not very well developed, and the subject matter or the message of the movie was convoluted, and to me was terrible. And but well, I'll say the one redeeming thing. The one redeeming thing is I thought it was shot well, and I thought everyone looked good.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, look at that. You found something positive. Look at that. I couldn't even appreciate that.
Yeah. Yes, it was shot well, and everyone did look good. And I feel like if anybody was on the fence or wondering whether or not they should go to Mike Todd's church or Devon Franklin's church, this movie alone would be a great evidence for the word no. This is exactly why you should not go to the church. I think the biggest problem with the movie was they didn't actually deal, which I think is something we're all kind of saying, with relationships. First of all, they didn't deal with the hardest thing that is presented in real relationships, which was sex. It was hard to believe that Method Man or Clifford, now we know, had made this actual transformation, because at the first minute that they got along for more than 30 seconds, they fell into bed together. That's so that you totally everything that the character was trying to portray.
Yeah.
That's the way I used to be, but I'm not that way anymore. I've learned from my mistakes. I used to hurt women, but I don't do that. Now I come to women with respect because I'm intentionally dating. You threw all of the whole
Threw it all
plot of
away.
the movie away in 30 seconds with, showing them in the sheets and jumping up in the morning going, oh my God, I can't believe what I've just done. All of that. She looked like an idiot and he looked like a liar. So as far as I'm concerned, they tanked their own movie when they did that. The woman that Elder was talking about with the basketball player, I agree with you in the Proverbs 31 that was a mother telling the son what the son should be looking for, but there is the mother should also be telling the son, you cannot lay in the bed with a woman for 5 years undecided on what you want to do with her. That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. And men who do that have got to be taken to task. We are very quick to lay things at the feet of women. And a lot of the stuff that we lay at the feet of women is deserved. So I'm not running away from that. But what I'm saying is this, you can't tie no woman up for 5 of her best baby making and youthful years and then go, well, I decided against you. All the time I'm intimating that there's going to be this future between us, but you in your heart of hearts know, I'm not sure there really is. And you've got her believing there is, which is what makes her stay there night after night. That is absolutely wrong to do. So yes, women should come with their list to exactly prevent that point. If the two people are not sleeping together, we can iron this out very easily. Where it becomes a problem is once people take it into that we're playing marriage, but we're not really going to be married. Now we've got a mess on our hands. So while you say, and I think you're right, in a good situation, when it is done right and done orderly, he should not have given up his chance at that job for her. They made it, or at least the way I understood the movie, he did that as an apology for the way he had treated her in the past. You know what? You're right. I hurt you. And since I did that and I took something from you, I'm going to sacrifice and give something back. I think it was a stupid sacrifice. If it were me, I wouldn't have done it. I'd have simply apologized and hoped that was enough. You're gonna have to make it enough. I mean it. That's all I got. but all of these things to me follow from when you don't do it the right way. And to me, that's the biggest negative in the movie, is that they had an opportunity to show that you would not be in this mess now if you had done it God's way. And they didn't even have sense enough. These two ministers, as executive producers, didn't even know how to figure out how to tell people that. I think in that sense, it's a shame on their ministry, and
Absolutely.
that they couldn't even get
I agree.
Get that far. So if I'm going to rate it, I will rate it. I will say this. If there is absolutely nothing going on and there's torrential rain while you're cleaning out your fridge, trying to rejigger a recipe that doesn't use granulated sugar, sure, watch it.
Spaces. I want to give you an opportunity. If you watched the movie, if you didn't, we can get with Crystal and we'll keep it moving.
I did watch it, and I watched it because I like Method Man as an actor.
Mhm.
I watched him in Power, and I
Yep.
absolutely loved his character.
Yep.
He was absolutely hilarious in How High. So
Mhm.
it was. I watched it because I like Method Man. I don't like Kelly Rowland. Just for anyway. But I had high hopes. I really had high hopes because I normally don't watch commercials and ads and stuff, but they kind of had me sold on it at least being maybe like a 4 at the end of the day, right? So I like to have an informed opinion about what it is that I watch, and I found myself being irritated at every single thing that was happening in the movie, from start to finish. From when they were arguing, like they were newscasters or whatever the position were that they were going for, and
producers.
they're arguing with each other over like some relationship stuff over the past years, and the person is trying to conduct an interview, and the person can't conduct the interview. They can't guide her in the interview because they're arguing with each other. Ask her this question. No, ask her this question. No. Would both of y'all shut up?
Yes.
Like what is going on here? And then she had to take the earpiece out of her ear. And then I just like I think everybody said it at this point, it was absolutely predictable in every single way. Not just what was going to happen in the movie, literally what they were going to say was predictable. And then, oh my goodness, when he, to be honest, I was looking at this from the standpoint of like, church and relationship with God and all this stuff. I wasn't looking at it through that lens. I was looking at it through the lens of just it being a movie. Is it a well-conducted movie? Is the acting good? And is the story good? And I can't say a single thing that I lied. I think it was Miss Dion that said the filming was pretty decent.
Oh, no, Celeste said that, but
Oh,
she liked the filming of the video. They must have used some good equipment.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. But even more than that, like, why is Kelly Rowland's skin look so creamy white? Like, why that is not her skin color? Like, come on, man. Like, anyway, the dumb friends making bad decisions, like birds of a feather flock together, man. And then even with the list. So
hold up, Zest. Spaces. The token zesty dude for no reason.
Yes.
It's just like
I forgot about him.
Scene one is scene one. You know, like the movie opened with the token zesty guy
dressed like Kelly.
I was gonna say, and she was in a zoot suit from what was he, Cap Calloway?
Cap Calloway. He's just like, what are we doing here? Like, what is going on here, man?
Yeah, like y'all make too much money for these bad raccoon-looking hair pieces. Like, what is going on here, man? That looked like they literally killed a raccoon, dyed it black, and slapped it on her head.
Method Man looked good though.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He looked good. He looked like a normal man. He looked good.
It looked like a normal man, right? Check this out. This is what another thing that irritated me about the storyline. Kelly Rowland is 45. Method Man is 54.
Right.
What is this 18, 19, 20-year-old love story that we're talking about? Like, they look they don't look old, like too old to be acting all this stuff, but they look too old to be having this type of drama between each other.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Like, this is crazy. And then to top it all off, I was like, please think about this. She told the security at the airport that he had something crazy in his bag. They looked in his bag. He came out and there's nothing happened. That doesn't happen in those situations.
Right. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't happen that fast.
Right.
He'd have been hemmed up for 2 hours. He would have missed that flight and everything.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
Well, I thought he was going to miss the flight after that.
And then That would make more sense for the story, right? Yeah. And then they would start questioning her, like, what did you see in his bag to make you think that? And then, okay, they just come out of the interrogation room or whatever, and nothing happened. And now I'm going to ignore the job of my dreams or the job that I want because I want a relationship with you. You Method Man, did you not read this story? Did you not read this script? Everything
he probably got a nice little Emma bag from it's his own Amazon. I mean, I'm glad that it didn't come. I wouldn't have gone. I'm not gonna lie to you. If it would have came out at the movie theater, there is no way I would have gone to the movie theaters to watch this. So,
I only watched it because it was an assignment. You gave us an assignment. I was not gonna watch that movie.
That's not me. No, you're right. Nobody would pay to see it. It was they were right to
and Amazon they need tax write-offs, so it wouldn't surprise me if they paid a nice chunk of change for this.
In spaces, I think it was smart for Method Man to do the movie. That's the only thing, the only good decision that I can see in the whole lot of them. Todd, Franklin, Kelly Rowland, the smart one in there was Method Man, because if he wants to get roles as a leading man, this was great.
This was a good little
showing for him.
Yeah, you're right. This was a good.
That walked out of there with something.
Yeah, I would agree, Celeste. This is a good audition for him. If he wants to kind of move more into these types of roles, and it looks like he wants to do. I think from an acting perspective, and I do agree with you. I like Method Man. I actually liked him in The Wire when he was Cheese, but which is dope. Crystal, I'll give you the next word, and then I want to keep it moving.
So the way that I'm built, okay, let me explain how I'm built. I don't watch ridiculous Black people movies that is just ghetto and problematic, okay? So I don't invest my time in that. And especially when I have a migraine due to sinus issues, I'm really not spending time watching bad Black movies, because I had heard about this movie let me change that. Sometimes when my sister and I want to make fun of bad acting, we either watch bad sci-fi or bad Black movies. Sometimes we want to make fun of people. But when I have a migraine and sinus issues, I'm really not about to sit down and watch it. I love Celeste. I saw the homework, but the way my head was set up, and listen, this book did nothing for me. This book did nothing for me.
Oh, you actually bought it? You have the book?
My ex gave it to me as a gift because it was supposed to help our relationship, right? So that book did nothing for me.
It obviously didn't help the relationship either.
It did not, especially when he didn't follow what the book said. So what I will say is, I knew about Mike Todd and Devon Franklin trying to put this together, and everything, especially when Devon Franklin touched something is questionable. I feel every time he does it, it's very questionable. Mike Todd, I take nothing that he says seriously because he's a joke. As Dion said, he's an apostate pastor. He is not preaching the word of God like he's supposed to. He makes it about him and only him. And to me, from what y'all described in the movie, because listen, I can't promise y'all, because I saw it on my TV and I was like, yeah, I'm not pressing that. I can't promise y'all that I would see it, but after what y'all said is just exactly what all bad Black movies look like. All bad Black movies.
It was worse.
It was worse. This is one of those flicks, and I don't watch Tubi, but I've heard about the movies that are on Tubi. This seems like something that should have came out on Tubi.
Yeah, and that's why I said I'm not going to waste. I didn't watch it, but at the end of the day, I am sick of people that feel like something that y'all said. They wanted to make the movie so that the world would watch it. The world has watched The Passion of Christ. The world has taken their kids to see the David film. The world is checking out Angel Studios. So to say you're
The Chosen is
The Chosen, yep.
The Chosen is it's phenomenal. I just finished up season 5. Phenomenal.
To make an excuse different. To say that you want to make sure the world no. Because you're worldly, because you are the pastors that sit on the fence that Satan owns. That's why you made the movie as such. Because a true man of God would have made the movie exactly how it was supposed to be made, to honor God and to again spread the gospel and make disciples of all nations. That's what they would have done.
Yep.
But that's not what they did. And I'm all about protecting my ear gates, eye gates, and my heart. I really believe in that. So therefore, I'm sorry I did not do the assignment, but I love
worries. No worries. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. Let's see here. Let me see. All right.
By the way, I gave it a -1 too.
-1? Got you. Well, we appreciate you guys for toughing it through. Shout out to Celeste,
No.
It took me about 3 hours to watch.
Did I tell you, this is exactly how fake news gets started. This is exactly how
Thank you, Brandy, for the $2 super chat. Says, thank you for what you do. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. LJ said, Method Man is fine, though. Didn't watch the movie and won't. Come on now.
He is fine. He is fine.
I tell you, this was good for him. This was very good. Very good for him.
Good career move.
That man is fine.
Okay. You're not supposed to be lusting after
I'm not
people.
lusting.
Like, come on now.
I'm appreciating God's handiwork. That's what I'm doing.
Lord, we're gonna keep it moving. Shout out to Mark with the $20 super chat. Says, Brother Wise, sorry I'm off topic, but Battle Ready is dope. Need to promote it, and extended version would be cool too. You all are wise beyond years. Appreciate you, Mark. Thank you. Shout out to LJ with the $5 super chat. Says, I think his whole congregation now is gonna say that it's okay to have sex outside of marriage and still claim that they've been transformed in Christ.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's very true.
Yeah. Well, if you waited to the end of the movie or got to the end of the movie where they were interviewing some of the I guess parishioners, of the church or whatever, and you see the people with the wicked nose rings and all this other kind of stuff going on. I mean, it's just a mess up in there, man.
Yeah, he lets them do that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Token zesty.
He said token zesty, dude. Well, we're trying to be somewhat respectful. Somewhat, not that these dudes deserve respect like that, but token zesty. Papa Di says Celeste is on the don't listen to her movie section.
I can't win over here. I can't win.
They let me live.
Come on, Celeste, yell it.
I'm sorry, Celeste. I'm sorry, Celeste.
Do like Trump. Say fake news, fake news, fake news.
Hey, Papa Di, that might be the first funny joke. No, I'll give you that. You got a handful now. You got a handful. All right. Where we at? We're at 11. So let's see if we can get through a couple more of these things. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Okay. I don't know how many of you guys go to the gym, but the ladies are always complaining about the men, gawking at them and all this other kind of stuff while they're at the gym. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I just thought this was funny. Watch this.
Minding my goddamn business.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Man,
Thank you for that laugh.
doing too much. Doing too much.
He didn't even flinch.
Hey, he just went through with his rap.
He got a wife.
Right. I mean,
He
you
got
ain't
wife.
gonna help the lady. Wow.
They don't want to be helped. They don't want to be held. Have you not seen, Joey Swole goes in on all these women all the time, taking videos and stuff and mad at the men that are quote unquote, staring at him, so he just said, hey, I'm gonna mind my business on this one. You got this. Yeah, that's true.
I like the way she was really getting her hands in the right
I thought
position.
she was gonna get it
She
had it together.
She came in there like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, Papa Di says, wait, I'm awake. Am I awake? Wise is laughing at me. Something's up. We'll keep it moving.
Me the pocket watcher on the show. I know you've seen at least 20. I don't know the big picture, really what you've seen, but you've seen 20 grown men Like, don't just say bad investments. Like, how did you run through 20? I never saw 20. And just thinking about it, like, my thing when I see dudes and I'm talking to them, I'm like, bro, if you got 10, then you got 8, then you got 6, then you got 4, then you got 800,000. Like, you can see that money leaving. Like, at one point, then you try to adjust. Like, something is going wrong with this financial plan.
That's a good question. And no excuse. No excuse. So I played 10 years. You said I made 20. We all know about Uncle Sam, right? So what's that? 10.
Yeah.
Right? So that's about $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That ain't no money. That's the real truth. The real truth is I ain't really make no money. I really ain't make no money. So people are like, oh, I don't understand how you could go crazy from, I'm like, I ain't make Floyd Mayweather enough money. I didn't make the type of money where it's like, I'm gonna go crazy because I don't have it today. That's the real truth. If you do the math, that's $1 million a year. It's even hard. That's you got to be a real strategic dude making $1 million a year and thinking you're gonna end up, with everything on earth.
And you take care of the family.
I got 14 brothers and sisters that I love with all my heart. I got a mother and a father. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot on us. But the real truth with the money part of it is we ain't make enough money for it to be sent the way it's supposed to be sent. Right? That's the real answer to that. But I invested in Philippe Childs. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing, when I first got to the league, I was on the path to do, the right things. You know what I'm saying? So I was on the right path. I just got knocked off the path of, sitting here with, $275 million cash right now.
The way that you don't sit here with $275 million in cash is when the 13th draft pick of the Portland Trail Blazers in the first round doesn't become a superstar. But you had always been a superstar. Like you said, from the 5th grade, you were the #1 player in the country. What was the realization for you when you were like, wait, I'm not the best. I'm
really tired of these athletes and Elder Travis. I know you're a former athlete, play pro ball and things of that nature, but I'm really tired of these dudes saying that more money than the average American will ever make in their life is no money. You do the math on this, and I had to look it up real quick. Average person works about 40 years. If they make $45,000, they've made $1.8 million in that 40-year span. If they earn $60,000, that's $2.4 million. If they earn $75,000, that's $3 million. I'm really tired of these dudes coming out here saying that $10 million. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. said $100 million is no money. I mean, this is insane. This is insane. This makes no sense. I want to hear from you first, Elder Travis. But I get it. You're a young man. You join the league, and you more times than not, you come from the hood. You don't know anything about money, so I understand that much of it. I do understand that, but goodness gracious, bro. $1 million a year after taxes and agents, at minimum, you put $100,000 up a year, small, keep it simple, VOO, invest in the S&P 500. Last year, that did 16%. You straight. That's $1 million. You earn $160,000 a year off of that at minimum, and you don't have to be some savant. But this is crazy.
Yeah, I think so. The part that people, I can speak on both ends of it. The part that people kind of miss is you go from being that young kid, like you said, he was a superstar. I won Mr. Basketball, all that stuff too. I was #1 player in the state when I played. We won state championships, did all that good, beautiful stuff. But when you go from that and you're like, you get into an environment where there is no Brother Wise, there is no Spaces. There's none of y'all in there saying, hey, bro, don't go over here, go here. I think my first 2 years of my career, once I got my footing, I blew like $550,000, $550,000. Couldn't tell you where it went. Because what happens is, this is my homeboy. Oh, dang, man, y'all come hang out with me. You feel it goes back to a discussion we had earlier that, you got survivor's remorse. I made it out. Let me look out. But then you're also doing foolish things because you think it's never going to run out. And then, like he said, you do forget about taxes. And in his case, if, this example, if you lived in California, you're making $1 million instead of them, and I know this now, I'm speaking now, I'm not speaking 19, you think different. You get say you made $1 million, half of that gone. So you really have 500,000. You got your agent, you got your PR, and you got to live, and you taking care of family. You really broke. You just a high earning broke person. And so what happens is the mismanagement of funds. I remember when I first met Kobe's dad, the one thing he said to me was, why you need Range Rovers? Why you need this? Why you need that? But every kid doesn't get that exposure to where it's like, stop doing this. This is stupid. And then when I got with the bishop, like I said, he told me, put 10% to the side. This is the money that you would give people. He talked investments. You don't learn investments and all that because you think you're going to play forever. And so what happens, he was like, when that 10% runs out, you tell people you ain't got no money. You're not lying. I don't have any more money for you. I have bills. I have responsibilities. And the hardest thing for a lot of athletes to do is tell people no. Because we contrary to popular belief, every athlete want to feel liked. They want to feel respected. But what ended up happening, like I said, in my case, I got around good mentors. You get around good people, but you still just make dumb choices. And I'm with you. I hate the ideology of it, especially when it's really entitlement. If you really want to call a spade, it's entitlement. That's literally what it is. Your skill set has brought you to this place, and you believe that it was you that did it. It wasn't until it was gone, and I realized it wasn't me, and it was God, that it could flourish the way that it needed to. And a lot of them don't have that experience. They'll tell us to go to chaplain. We all know you got to preach chaplain. Come on. They're watching the movie we just talked about. Chaplain. Okay, we're going to pray because a lot of athletes deal with, we have emotional distress. Like a lot of them have like a lot of psychological issues that people don't really discuss just because they have money. And a lot of times it's blown in drinking, it's blown in having sex with a lot of women. Look at Lamar Odom, all that money. But what people don't know, mental health issues is real when it comes to athletes. So he's saying that even as I'm looking at the video, I'm like, is he high? Like, that's what I'm thinking. He's a class, I believe, behind mine or before mine. I can't remember. He was in one of them classes. So my thing is the mental health issue that they don't even think that they have because they have money, and ain't nobody's going to come up and say, hey, Elder Travis, you don't need to go get that car. Well, I got it. But they don't have nobody in their corner to be like, that's stupid. Stop it. You need to cut that out. And so that entitlement just grows and it grows and it grows. And then you got this dude in your ear. And the thing about it, they just get stuck in entitlement. Once I had to remove myself out of entitlement, because all you got to get is one injury, somebody that leaves you that you believe that loves you, and you sitting over, or the money, you lose it. And then you sit there and you looking like, dang, where's everybody? Now you want to count coins. Now you want to count what you should have done with it. And that's what happened to a lot of athletes. They throw you in the fire because really they're kids. Just think about it. I turned pro at 19. I was a kid. And if it wasn't for my older cousin, like I said, I ran into the bishop. They were very condescending of me. And then when I got, closer to God, it was just like, hey, be a good steward of what you got. You ain't being no good steward. I've never had. I'm just going to buy. I'm going to buy everything I see. I'm going to do everything I need to do. And what happens, that entitlement, it goes from here and it just continues to expand till it's like, and I've done it before. That's why I can speak on. I'm Mr. Basketball. Y'all supposed to give me this. I'm the player of the year. You should give me it. No, I don't owe you nothing. But sometimes you get to a space of, and I hate to say it, LBJ, LeBron is an entitled guy. He's done great with his money, but he's an entitled individual. Michael Jordan, they're entitled. Like it's just a lot of certain people who are just entitled. They're great at what they do, but everybody's not LeBron. Everybody's not 6'9", 260. So you're not about to play. Nobody's playing 23 years. God, he got lucky. His situation is different than everybody else. Everybody doesn't play 20 years. But in our mind, at our superpower, we can play till we 40. And what happens is my skill set makes my entitlement because I don't have God. We got to keep that in mind. There is no God in this because I'm going out every night. I'm drinking every night. I'm doing there is no God. So my God is my money. So if I keep dribble this ball, I do what I got to do until they get rid of me. Till they get rid of you, then, you don't have a fallback. He doesn't have a fallback. Even though he was popular high school and coming up, you wasn't Carmelo where you could get your TV job. You're on Vlad TV. So his check is coming from Vlad TV. That entitlement also scares your vision because there is no God. So it kind of just entitlement it is very, very bad in our sport. I've lived it. I've done it. I've been a part of it. I was an example of it at one time. So entitlement, until God strips you of everything and lets you see that it's about him, you will live with it forever. Even after you're done, the no God part, like even right now, look at him. Odell Beckham, look at him. Career's over. You have not heard them mention anything about God. They're not going to talk about God. They're just going to keep doing these interviews that's just going to go viral. And they don't have nothing to bank on. So, that's the element of where God needs to be in all things.
Crystal, we'll get you the next word.
Somebody over here put up something. They said, learning investment while you are receiving money is a recipe for disaster, which I agree. When all that money's pouring in, it's very hard to understand investment in that moment, especially when you're young. I agree with Elder Travis because, we ain't have all that kind of money like what this man was speaking about. But where do they go when they want to give away credit cards? They go to college campuses because you have no sense of money. Most of these kids grab onto that credit card and be like, wow. I remember, was it my daughter or my son? They were going and they went, no, my son wanted a credit card. My daughter understood how credit cards work. My son understood, but he still was in that spending mode. And I was like, sir, understand, if you get a credit card, when you spend on it, you have to pay that back. That is not something that you just,
It's not free money. It ain't free.
That's how it works. So I think what happens, and that man just said he had 14 brothers and sisters. Now, 14 brothers and sisters, and somebody made it. Everybody make it when that one somebody.
Yeah, or at least they feel like it anyway.
Mm-hmm. And as he said, I have 14 brothers and sisters. I have my mom and dad. He was like, and it was rough for us. So everybody is making it because that one made it. So that dwindles your money down significantly because now mom and daddy got to get a house. My brother needs a this and my sister needs a that. And you have all these different needs that come towards you because you're the one out of all of us that made it. And believe you me, somebody's going to be reminding you, we went to all your games. We supported you when you.
We kept you out of trouble. Remember when such and such, little John them was trying to jump on you? Exactly. I understand all that. I get that.
Or when your sneakers were rough and you couldn't afford to get the sneakers, I used my allowance to make sure that you had the sneakers. So all those conversations start coming up when it comes to that type of money. And again, where do you live? Because $1 million in New York is a joke. $1 million in California is a joke. $1 million in the Midwest, okay, we're talking something. But $1 million in those other places, that's problematic. So are you still living in those areas? And something I always say, this world is built on defying the 10th commandment. It is built on defying the 10th commandment, which is thou shalt not covet. This world is built on coveting. That is what this world is.
Especially right now. Yeah.
So we live in the world of keeping up with the Joneses. They made a whole show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, for a reason. They want people to feel the need. What I have is not good enough. As Elder Travis was saying, so you ain't pushing a Rolls Royce, you ain't pushing a Range Rover yet? But you a professional. Why you still driving a Honda Accord? Why? You could push a Porsche. So you have all of these different things. And if you don't have the foundation, like when I hear Tia and Tamara talk, when they talk about their parents, and their parents were very adamant when they were making money, Their parents would not let them. They made sure they understood investing. They weren't allowed to live rich. They were allowed to live regular, because regular meant y'all are saving and we're investing. So if you don't have those voices around you that will educate you, give you the wisdom and understanding, stewarding the money that you have receiving correctly, and understanding that this life won't be your life forever. I remember when my sister and I were training to turn professional tennis. My dad kept telling us, listen, understand, like 30 is old in tennis. Okay. So you have this amount of time to do what you're doing, because by 30, you're old in tennis. Maybe even 20s, late 20s, you're old in tennis. You don't want to be trying to still, you better figure it out while you can, while you're still young, because the older you get, like you're a wash up in those spaces. So again, if you don't have those mentors, those words of wisdom spoken over you, then you will have those conversations like you hear that young man having, because $1 million means is nothing, because when you got to take care of everybody and make sure everybody's rocking Prada and everyone has Gucci and everyone looks good, they don't want that money goes through just like this. No one is teaching you. I remember my aunt said to me, 10% to God, 10% to yourself.
Yeah.
Off your gross. That's what 10% to God, 10% to yourself, off your gross. And that was something that we understood. But again, everybody's not being taught that wisdom. And that's why, if I get into office, I believe that financial services, financial education, literacy should be taught everywhere. Because
just make the Richest Man in Babylon mandatory reading.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? For everybody. Once you hit high school, junior year, senior year, Richest Man in Babylon, let that be mandatory reading. And that will change some people. That will help some people. Not everybody, because everybody's not going to listen, and everybody's not going to read the book either. But you can't save everybody.
Even taking it as somebody, I'll be very vulnerable with you all. As someone who has very difficult credit, not on my own doing, but because, remember, I told y'all, this is why I'm very anti-illegal immigrants, because they got a hold of my social and they went to town on my social, right? So I've been fighting this back and forth. This has been an ongoing battle. That's difficult. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine people who don't understand credit, and then they go and destroy their credit before they even start. That's why I say they make sure to give the kids the credit cards early in college. They talk to you about student loans early in college, because they're trying to hold you down and basically enslave you. That's literally what they're trying to do. They're trying to enslave you so that you are now enslaved to all the systems, and you want to get out, but you can't. And so it's difficult. And that's why I say to people, be mindful, even when it comes to your social security number. Listen, you better hide that bad boy, do what you got to do, put a lock on your credit, because I didn't learn about putting a lock on my credit until they called my job, asked, I was working. And they said, my job asked me, they said, Crystal, why are you asking for unemployment benefits? You work here. I said, what are you talking about? I didn't ask for unemployment benefits. Well, someone got a hold of my social security and went to town on my social security. They were doing tax returns. They were filing for unemployment benefits. They got a car. They got a house. They got a house before I even got a house. I'm just telling you, they got a house before I got a house.
Wow.
So that's just a lot to deal with, and that's why I say, be mindful. Learn as much as you can. Protect your credit. Be mindful of the things that you say you opening up. If you ain't got the money to buy it, then leave it alone. Stop coveting things. You don't need to. Do not worry about if everybody else has it. What makes sense to you? Steward what you are blessed with correctly, so you don't have to deal with the consequences later.
Absolutely. Well, they say comparison is the thief of joy. And, when you start comparing yourself to other folks, and to be honest with you, you're just seeing the outside. They really may not have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Or they may be leveraged up to the tilt. But on the outside, it looks like they have something, and you're looking like, "Whoa, it's me. I look at what I'm driving." But more times than not, these folks, they're not living the life that they're portraying. Celeste, I'll give you the next word.
Well, I think that Crystal is right about certainly right about the coveting, but in terms of the question of whether or not $1 million a year is enough, I feel like in this sense I'm very much a capitalist. I'm very much somebody who says, all right, let's say I become the country's foremost heart surgeon, and for that I make $20 million a year, and I'm at a point in my career now where I can make $20 million a year. I think that's perfectly fine, because if you didn't go to the school, if you weren't blessed with my capacity, maybe to understand the heart, and I spent all of my time from grade school on up to try and be in the top 5% of my class, and then go on to do an extra 8 more years of schooling between med schools and fellowships, to be able to reach that point. I actually It is okay that I'm paid my worth in that respect. If I spent all of my time and was blessed with the actual physical physique to be able to do it, to bounce a ball and concentrate on how to get the ball in the hole, then I'm in the top 1% of people who can actually accomplish that consistently. They should pay me my worth to do that. So I want to start out, at least my portion of this conversation, by saying I think it is great that people are making money. I'm not in any way poo-pooing that. I think it is wonderful, and I think it is great that if they make money because they want to live a life different than the one Celeste, than I'm living, because they have a skill that can garner that and Celeste doesn't, that's fine. And they should do it, and they should not be forced to say, well, I should have to, live like Celeste because this is more than what the average person gets, so I should just be happy with that. No, I think this is why we have America is America. America is supposed to be a place where everybody can find out what their talent is and take their talent to the world and say, here it is. I spent my time developing my talent exactly as the Bible says you should, and now I'm willing to see what is it actually worth out here. I think that's a marvelous thing. However, the problem with all of this is that people feel, one, obligated. When I heard him list out them 14 family members and that mama and daddy and all of them folk, I would have told them on the day of signing, y'all are short. Okay. As soon as I left the signing table, and everybody, I would have said, we having a family meeting. Don't worry about congratulating me. Y'all are short. If there is an absolute emergency, I will see what I can do. But you cannot, it's like swimming. If you jump into a pool with somebody drowning and they grab your neck, they will take you down. Now, nobody can be saved. You cannot try to save all of these people. And we should stop. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is cultural. I'm assuming that it is. I didn't get these cultural messages. Why people feel like you have to, go back and pull everybody back up with you. I absolutely don't have any of that. And I'm not against supporting people and investing and pouring into people's lives. I'm not against any of that, but I am against drowning on your behalf. That you cannot sell me on. I'm not going to be able to do that. So aside from not having any financial discernment, which was clear, he himself talked about it, and we all have talked about how he didn't have that. He also didn't have any, like you said, strategies for how it is you're going to be in a different socioeconomic bracket than everyone else you know. That is a very difficult place to be. Wise, if you remember, you showed us this woman. I think it was last week or the week before, and the woman was talking about how she feels guilty because she makes so much more money than all of her friends, and she's not sure. So she finds herself in the situation where she has to pay all of the friends to be able to do everything she wants to do because they're not able to do it. This is not an easy thing. I'm glad you showed it from this perspective because it's kind of the same question. It's a very difficult thing to manage to say, I grew up in this situation. However, because of whatever the circumstances are, I am no longer in that situation, but everything I'm attached to is. And how do I navigate being able to maintain at least some semblance of a relationship with the people I love and who have loved me, and still be able to go and reach a potential that they're never going to reach? Elder, we could have grown up. We could have been, like what's his face in Mariah, like babies and pacifiers. I'm never going to be your height. I'm never going to have your destiny. I'm never going there. And somehow you and I, if we are really friends, are going to have to figure out how to do that. And I said this when we talked about the girl. Part of that is I'm going to have to say, there's a piece of you I got to let go so I can let you be who you're destined to be. And I've got to find a way to be okay with that. And you have to appreciate the sacrifice that would be for someone in my position and say, wow, you know what? That's a really hard thing that you're doing, but I appreciate that you cared and loved me enough to do that. I think if people can approach it from that point, there's a way to save those relationships. But if you feel like all I got to do is pay for all of these people, and most of the time it's their bad decisions, you making your own bad decisions and trying to pay for other people's bad decisions, all that's going to do is wait to the next family reunion, and it's going to be nothing but a festival of resentment. The people you help don't feel like they got enough, and you feel used and taken advantage of. And there's going to be nothing but resentment in that situation. We're going to have to learn to say, you know what? If we had a season and a time, and there was a time when we were both right here, but we're not both right here anymore. And it's okay if you go.
Celeste, it's funny you said I have my cousin. He's like that. Because he's the one that really kind of got me into it. He was the one where when I went off overseas, relationship never broke, situation never broke. And like you said, the reciprocation of it, in my mind, I was like, you was with me shooting in the gym. Every time I would see him, I'm like, we gonna go kick it together. We're gonna go eat. Because my appreciation to what you're saying is, let me do. It wasn't. He's never ever asked me for anything. He's never let me hold this. Let me pay for that. Let me get your rent paid. But I was also on the other end where he just took care of me. So the reciprocation of, hey man, I'm gonna be gone. I might not talk to you for 3 to 6 months. Nothing changes. Till this day, we talk to each other every morning. Every morning.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's important. People don't know how to do that because few of us are in that situation. And so when it comes up, we don't know anybody who's living like Wise says, 10x your life. We don't know anybody who's 10x'd from where we are. They're that far. There's that big of a gap. That's that big of a. So it's usually new for both parties. And I think if both parties come to and say, look, I don't know how to handle this. This is new for me. You don't know how to handle this. This is new for you. But I do want the best for you. And I realize the best for you at the moment is not me, because I don't have much to offer in that life that you're building over there.
Yeah. I want to give Spaces and Dion an opportunity. I would ask that y'all try not to be too long-winded.
They don't steal a lot of time.
I know. They don't spend. They spoke for 55 minutes. But I'm sorry. But there's a couple other things I want to get to, and we're going to rapidly get through these next couple of things. But if you guys want to add anything, go for it.
I think I'm the contrarian tonight. I think we talked about this on my podcast, a similar situation where the question was, if your homie comes up on something like a basketball contract or something like that, do you think that he should give you a piece? And the general consensus was the general, there's three of us. The majority said no, right? The person that came up on the money, whatever, however they did, as long as it's legal, of course, they don't owe you anything. And that's my general sentiment. Like if somebody in my family comes up on the job or whatever the case, congratulations to you. I hope that, you stick with it. It does you well. It serves you well. In my mind, however, I am thinking I want a little piece of that. Now, I'm not saying that you owe it to me. I'm saying I would like to have some, right? And then I also have to, I'm going to say disagree, not even push back. I don't care where you live. It may not last long, but what was the number? I don't know. The guy that was
after taxes, $1 million a year.
After tax, so that's how much the guy made.
Yeah,
$1 million. Look, there's 6 people on this panel. Divide $1 million by 6. Are y'all going to deny it?
Of course not.
Exactly. $1 million is a lot of money.
6 cents.
So I'm saying, like, I can't agree with that. Like, $1 million is $1 million. If you live in, I agree that if you live in California, New York, because I've seen
you can still live good on $1 million. I mean, do you guys understand what $1 million a year is? That's $83,333 a month. I mean, there's not too many. I mean, actually, there's nowhere in America that you can't live. You know what I'm saying? Now, some places you're gonna live better than others.
That are trying to do more than live. They may be trying to put their kid in a private school. They may be trying to do. They're not trying. Yeah. What you're saying is you want the heart surgeon to have the life I have.
No, I'm not saying that. But there is a difference. You know, if you get into The Millionaire Next Door and it talks about the people who have the money, and they make a distinct difference between exactly what you described. The heart surgeon, they call these people income affluent people. And then they call the people, the millionaire next door is the person that does have the money, but they still live a fairly regular lifestyle. And that is the difference right there.
Because they're not public. Because they're not public. Look, if I go make $1 million right now, nobody knows me. I can stay in the same spot and keep that whole thing quiet. What I can't be is out on a camera dribbling a ball where my salary is published and people can Google me and Google my net worth. At that point, now that makes demands that I got to go live behind gates, and gates cost money.
That is true. But if you're a professional athlete, the city that you live in, typically, I know here, you know, that guys that play for the Ravens, typically they will put these guys up into places. And then if you're from the South or something, buy your house down south. You know what I'm saying? Which is what these guys don't tend to do it. You're a rookie like Caleb Williams and he goes and spends $20 million on a house out in Chicago. I think that's just insane. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a balance there. On top of that, okay, you want to get you a nice car, you get one. These fools go out and buy 3 or 4.
No,
you can only drive one at a time.
I agree with that.
Well,
I agree
then
that
you're
all
gone
of that's
most of the time.
much.
And on top of that, if you play in the NBA or something along those lines, I mean, man, you're traveling majority of the year. So you got cars that are just sitting there, unnecessary.
Yeah.
So it's just some of it. I understand what you're saying, the gated aspect of it. But the thing is, Celeste, in California, in New York, you can live in New York City. You can live in a building with a security and all that type of stuff. Maybe it costs you $4,000 or $5,000 a month, $6,000, $7,000. We'll say maybe it's $8,000 a month. Maybe $8,000, $9,000 a month.
Let's say it's somewhere around $10,000 to $15,000.
I was about to say 4,000 is like a hole in the wall. That's
I know. I was off on that. Okay, we'll say it's $10,000 a month. If you're making after taxes over 80 grand a month, you should be fine. On top of that, I'm with Crystal. You know, the first 10%, well, the first 20%, 10 goes to God, 10 goes to yourself. You pay yourself first before you do anything else.
Mm-hmm. Remember, there is no God. They don't think about that.
Yeah, they're not looking at, well, okay, that means they saved themselves 10%, at least early on. You know what I'm saying? But at least you should pay yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Before you start thinking about taking care of anybody else, you should pay yourself first and put that money up. And the last I heard, you know, I heard the NBA, they have a really nice pension plan and they match the heck out of it. So if you just put the money in there as tax deferred, you know what I'm saying? And they match it. I think you can put like 90 grand in that joint a year and they'll match it. They'll match the 90. So that's free money. So some of it is just, These people are just fiscally irresponsible.
They are. They are, but they're two separate things. They're fiscally
I like to reclaim
irresponsible,
my time.
100%.
Oh,
But
can we give Spaces his
sorry.
time back? I know. I'm sorry. Spaces.
Mute me. I can't.
So Teddy Marcel said it at 10:03. I kept my screen on it. He said 5 million, 100 million, they all go broke. It's a sad history. It's sad history keeps repeating itself. There are far too many examples to this day where people have this same exact story. It's the same exact story time and time. I can give a little bit of grace because if you've never seen money before and you come up on 20 million, then you're gonna go crazy with it. But I can't. So to that degree, I give a little bit of grace. But you have far too many examples out here where the people have this same story. So to that degree, I can't give you. Ultimately, I can't give you grace. You don't have an excuse.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it. Maybe the ladies hadn't seen it, but I'm sure the fellas have seen it. These young dudes, they have no excuse. You know, now that 30 for 30 came out, broke, and it talked about all these guys, like there's no excuse, you know. And the other thing too, I think that child support, you know, they'll get a bunch of babies all over the place. You know,
I was going to go there.
That'll hem you up. That child support will hem you up.
I can't think. Was it Stephon Diggs have 4 kids born in 1 year?
In 1 year, 2025. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Wow.
That's crazy work. That's nasty as well. Yeah.
Very.
Dion, we'll give you the last word and then we'll keep it moving.
Shoot, what I'm gonna say? Y'all done said all the good stuff.
Well, good. You ain't got to say anything. Let's keep it moving. We're gonna go wrap it. You know what I'm saying? I want to play this for you. Hey, quick quirk, and then we will keep it moving. Wrap it because there's a couple of other clips. I've been holding on these things for like 2 weeks because y'all just so long-winded, man. Crystal, I'm just picking on you.
I be trying to be brief.
Should a man have before he gets into a relationship?
At minimum, a man should have $300,000 US.
So glad I found my wife before the advent of social media, because this would just be so disheartening. Because how many people in America, period, have $300,000? Men or women? How many people have that much money liquid? Now, you want to know what he thinks you need to do with that $300,000? Listen.
50,000 of that goes to your new bride. Before y'all get married here, I love you, here's 50,000.
Giving her $50K straight up, boy, that is love. If it isn't love, why does it hurt this bad? What else I got to do with the 3 horn?
The other 50,000 go on a deposit of your new family house.
Where I live in California, $50,000 will not get you anywhere near a deposit on a family home. You can put that $50,000 back in the account, and you're gonna need a couple more 50s of thousands of dollars to buy a personal home. But here, listen to what he really thinks. If you really want to step your game up, how much you need before you even entertain a woman.
Really want to step into the real leagues when men are handling their business, you should have at least 1 million to 3 million in your savings account before you even entertain a woman.
$1 million to $3 million cash. You know what, man? You should also be able to fly and harness the power of the great horn moon and swim faster than a fish. Might as well, since we're just making up stuff. I don't even know if it's wise to put $3 million in a savings account.
Seriously.
Like at that point, that's probably not the best place for it financially. You know, it's got to be a really high interest yielding savings account. But let's just make up numbers because this is just not realistic. And I know it might sound good, like, yeah, that's what I deserve. Well, that's not real life. I deserve a full hairline. That's what I deserve. What do I got though? I deserve abs. What do I got though? Huh? I've been eating healthy for 6 days. I ain't got no abs.
6 days.
Spaces, I'm gonna give you the first word. So, what are your thoughts? Yo, social media is insane. Oh, he dipped out. Maybe he'll come back up. But we'll go to you, Dion. This is crazy. Social media is something else, man. Seriously, these quote unquote relationship gurus out there, you know what I'm saying? And you know, these scammers, this is outrageous, man.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it sounds good, but like what's his name was just saying, you know, how realistic is it that that would happen. The fact that, and when Crystal a while ago mentioned covetousness, that's just so real in these type situations, because you see someone on social media saying these things, and it will give women it like emboldens them to feel like, yeah, this is what I should be getting. I know there was a time when, how did it work? Women would be paid a dowry or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, that still exists, in other countries, especially in Africa. You're not getting
Oh,
a
I'm
wife over there
sure.
without paying a dowry.
India.
I'm sure. So one
India
thing I
too.
thought
Yeah.
about is, okay, if you think of the way things were back then, what that money meant back then, and like you extrapolated into today's time and today's finances, maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing to be thinking that way. But also at the same time, how many men are going to be doing that? I don't know. I don't know. Beyond that, I'm not sure what to say.
Spaces, we'll give you the next word, bro.
My audio cut out halfway through when he said the $1 million. So I don't
Oh,
even
you was
remember.
just done, huh? You was like, $1 million just for a woman?
No, my computer said no when he lifted his shirt up. And I literally wasn't touching anything, and it closed me out. So I missed that part of the video. Like after he said $1 million.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, go for it.
No, I'll just what I do know about Yada Awaken is he's just
that's who that is?
Yeah.
That's who that is? Okay.
Yada Awaken. And what I do know about him is he's just Derek Jackson with the Bible. And he is definitely a person that I watched him do a debate with Anton Daniels. And the absolute way he was just incredibly misconstruing what the Bible says and interpretations of certain things, and how it was so obvious that he is specifically saying exactly what women want to hear for the man that they think that they want, or the type of man that they think, like the type of man that he describes is the type of man that would be on Kelly Rowland's list in that Relationship Goals movie. Because she wrote all of these super ideal things down, and Yada Awaken verbalizes all of those super ideal things, which almost none of them are realistic. And he just says it because he knows that that's what women are going to want to hear, and it's going to garner more attention to him, garner more followership to him, and it's just a revolving circle after that. So I can't. As soon as I saw him on the screen, the $300,000 thing is the first thing that came to mind, because I heard him say that, but like months before this. Like, what a ridiculous man.
Yeah. Celeste?
I agree with Spaces. I think it was absolutely ridiculous. I think the numbers and the figures were absolutely ridiculous. I'm not against a dowry. People, there were times when people brought 3 sheep and a woven blanket, and that was the dowry, and that was acceptable. I don't think we have to put a price on it. But what I do like about a dowry is I like that it's an actual negotiation, which means that there's a level of seriousness to the idea of getting married, and that the conversation generally involves more than just the 2 young people that want to marry. There's some family and some elders and some custom or some tradition. There's something else other than, I think I'm cute, I think you're cute, and we gonna live on cute for, from now to the end. That part of the idea of a dowry, I like. This fantasy, you can't even talk to a woman until you got $1 million in the interest, in a savings account. All of that seems absolutely foolish. People have been able to get married, live together, raise children, have happy lives, and been a blessing to each other, to their families, and to their communities unless that is not required. Was that short
Elder
enough
Travis?
for you?
Outstanding. Outstanding. I might get one of those signs. You know, remember that the John say, wrap it up, wrap it.
So
go ahead.
Somebody else had the sound of a plane descending to tell people to land their plane.
Go to land that plane.
I think it goes back to, because I followed him back in the day when he was a big guy, when he was big before he lost all that weight. And I think it goes back to, I told you I was a Pac fan back in the day. Pac say, rap to the women. He said the other word, but he said, rap to the women. The N-words won't, but the women won't. And so all he doing is doing a spiel. When I see those podcasts and those guys be like, yeah, if he don't come home at 2:31 instead of 2:30, he ain't the man that you deserve, and all that nonsense. He just catapults that. You know, at one time I thought he didn't start that way when I first saw him. He sounded like he had some soundness, but you lose weight. You know, I think I seen his wife today selling, I think, their product. I ain't gonna say the product, but selling their product, and she just laying there, and I'm just like, okay, I get, you know, like, okay. But that's what he's, like Brother Spacer says, that's what he's on now. It's just women, we know, are more impulse buyers than men. A man is not about to buy that product. But if this woman says, I want this product, he's just doing what he's rapping to the women, and it's just selling. He's just selling the product. I can't even, we get the spiel.
Okay. Crystal?
Is he African?
I thought he was just regular. I thought it was a regular brother.
He's regular black.
He's just regular black. Stop making those faces.
I thought he just took it on. Just regular. It looked good. I just thought it was regular brother.
Oh no, because I didn't know if he was African by the outfit, the name, and if he was African, then I could understand it a little bit more about what he was saying.
He's the conscious Derek Jackson. Is that what you said, Spaces? He's the conscious Derek Jackson.
Derek Jackson with the Bible.
Super shiny.
Oh, Derek Jackson with the Bible. Got you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because like I said, if he was African, that would make more sense, because Africans are completely different, and the way they spoil the women are completely different than what happens here in America. So definitely I would have been able to understand. But if he's American, then yeah, there's no point in what he's saying. So that's really what it's about, because we've met our Africans who like, listen, you be my woman here in America, here's a black card, whatever you need, that type of thing. It's a different mindset over there when they're courting women, especially American women. So
yeah, but they have expectations though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just told you the expectations. You're my woman here. When I come here, you're my woman, and you will maintain our condo here. Now, he may have another woman in London. He may have another woman in Dubai, but you're his woman here. That's simple.
Got you. Okay, I think I got what you're saying. I want to play this clip for you real quick. This mom, I'm assuming single mom, because I didn't see dad in this equation here. But son graduated high school recently, and she's basically told him, like, bro, you got to get out of my house and fend for yourself. I want to hear from you guys on this.
I don't know what to do. It's too soon for this. Like,
you've been graduated since May.
I can't stay here for long. Give me
Today is the day. My firstborn done turned 18. We finna go find you your little place. You grown now. It's time for you to start handling stuff on your own. There go your down payment for your place. You done. You done here, baby.
Wait, so what am I supposed to do about food and all that?
What you mean? We're gonna go ahead down to the little public aid office. And you gonna go fill out some applications and get you some link cards, go get you a job.
It's too soon for this. I don't know what to do. It's too soon for this. Like,
you've been graduated since May.
I can't stay here for long.
You've been graduated since May 1st. It's June. It's almost the end of June. July 1st coming up.
I don't know how
you
to
know what I
live
told
on my
you.
own. What is I'm supposed to do without you? I don't know. Mom, you know I can't go
You don't
nowhere.
have to, boy. I'm gonna be there with you every
So why
step
is
of
you
the
trying
way.
to kick me out?
I'm not trying to kick you out. I'm trying to get you ready for the real world. I ain't trying to kick
For
you
what?
out.
I'm not ready yet.
You
I'm
are
not ready yet.
You're not ready because you keep saying you're not ready. That's why you're not ready.
How's I'm supposed to get food, clothes, provide for myself?
You have clothes.
I don't gotta do none of this shit.
I'm gonna make sure you got some food in that refrigerator for a few months.
Mom, you can't do this to me.
I can't do what?
You can't. You cannot do this.
But
to
you
me.
would take that money and go buy some clothes.
You cannot do this to me.
You would take that money and go buy some clothes.
You cannot put me out, Mom.
You
I'm not gonna know what to do, bro.
Boy, you making this harder than they
I
gotta
ain't
be.
even grown all the way yet. 21
is grown.
age. Why you trying to put me out for? What did I do to you? I graduated high school, like you said.
Okay.
That's it, bro.
It's time
And
for
you
you to
telling me I
find
gotta
you-
go?
You said you're not going to college, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
going to
then.
college.
So then this is what
Can I
it's
just
come
get
to.
a couple months, a year or something to
No,
figure
this
something
is what
out?
it's come to. You don't want to go to college. You ain't fill out no application. You played in your ass the whole school year.
Look at Crystal with the smile on her face. Goodness gracious. I'll give you the first word. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I kind of get her to a certain extent because I had told my children, listen, if when you finish high school, if you don't have nothing in order, you getting out. You're not about to be on my you ain't about to be on my sofa just chilling, just whatever. You better figure it out. And I kept prepping them. When they graduated high school, my son was working, my daughter was working, so I didn't have to say you got to get out. Now, when my son felt like you know what, I'm too grown to be listening. Hey, I'm glad you're too grown to be listening. Time for you to go. Go ahead and find your own place, figure it out. And when he got out into the real world, he learned very quickly, wait a minute, mom was doing a lot more than I thought. And he has to turn around and say, Mommy, I appreciate what you used to do for me because there's light bills, there's food, there's grocery bills, there's all these bills. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you understand. And I appreciate even more that he moved out and what he learned from his mama is how to figure it out on your own and have that hustle mentality and nothing illegal, understanding that you got to keep pushing, don't give up. Now, my daughter, she chooses to learn. She chooses, I'm still going to be obedient to my mama. So she gets to stay here. She stays here as long as she wants to. She can stay here until the day she gets married. It's when people feel like they're too grown, they got to go. So, from what I'm hearing from the mom, she said, you didn't apply for college. You're not applying for any, you graduated in May. You didn't apply for college. You're not applying for any job applications. You got to go. I understand that. I definitely do because you don't want to do nothing and I'm trying to encourage you. Then you got to go.
No, I agree with you, Crystal. I know for me, I graduated high school and, within a few months, I was going to the military and I was out of there. Shortly after that, my oldest son basically did the same thing, graduated high school, chilled for the summer, and he rolled out. Same thing. My younger son at least attempted the college thing, and then, he ended up getting a job and saying, Dad, I think I want to do my own thing. I bet. And he rolled out. But you graduate high school, you're not going to college, you're not trade school, military, and you don't have a job. Yeah, that's bro, that's not gonna work for me.
And he was cursing his mama too.
And I heard him, dude, and that's the thing, dude, I'm in my 40s and I don't curse around my parents.
That's
Mom,
right.
Dad, grandma, I just
Okay.
don't do that. And he's calling moms bro and all this other kind of stuff. It's pretty obvious that she didn't do a good job rearing this young man. And it's pretty obvious. It doesn't sound like he has a dad to call. So she obviously made a poor choice there with, who she chose to procreate with, so forth and so on. I ain't mad at her. If he don't want to do anything, how long do you expect for me to hold you down like this? And you don't want to get a job and you don't want to do anything. Yeah. Sometimes you go, kind of like the, what is that? The bird in the nest. Sometimes, hey, if you don't want to fly on your own, I'm gonna have to kick you up out that nest and, hey, sink or swim. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna fly or you gonna fall to your death. One of the two. You choose. Spaces, I'll give you the next word, bro. I don't want you to go last all the time. Get mad at me.
So this is another video we talked about on my pod, and I think this particular video was a skit, but we'll just for the sake of conversation. I think the unpreparedness of the child is a reflection of the parent.
Yes, yes.
I think for her to, again, we're assuming that this is the real scenario. For her to have that money saved up and just say, here's your money, go figure it out. That's the one of the worst things you can do. That's almost worse than allowing him to just sit on your couch and do nothing. To me, maybe I'm off on that one, but I think, and then on top of that, she gives him the money to put a down payment on a house, which on a context, house, apartment, what is this? Like, what is this anyway? But then she say, he asked, what am I going to do for food?
Yeah.
The first thing she says, we're going to put you on governmental, sign you up for governmental.
That made no sense.
That
made no sense.
So and actually, this is one thing. I actually know someone that she's like a thrice divorcee. And whenever she, basically, long story, the short version is, her now husband has a 20-year-old daughter. She's now pushing to have the 20-year-old daughter move out of the house. The girl's working. So I'm under the thought process for when I have kids, as long as you don't necessarily have to go to college, as long as you're doing something productive and it's actually gearing you towards something that'll be beneficial to you in your future, then you don't have to move out. And I think that's one of the major things that happens that is a major detriment to the Black community in particular. Because a lot of times people get kicked out at the 18, 19. And of course, I'm under the thought process of the child is respectful to the parent, of course. Mm-hmm. So, you start getting disrespectful, then you get the Timberland on your way out. You know what I'm saying? So, but if the child is, just trying to do so many thoughts. But anyway, my general thought process is the best way to have one of the best ways to have your child prepare for their future is to not boot them out at the age of 18 when they clearly know absolutely nothing. They don't know about where to fill out for an application for an apartment. They don't know nothing about the different utilities. It sound like he don't got no car. Like, don't know nothing, and you're just gonna kick him out. All right, well, you setting your child up to fail. He's gonna be right back in the house with you.
Yeah, no job. I mean, I especially for boys. I mean, honestly, I think girls too. They should be working in high school. If they're not playing sports year round, you should be encouraging them to get a part-time job. Especially at least by senior year, at minimum. That's just my thoughts. Yeah, I agree with these Spaces. Celeste, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Spaces as well. I actually thought it was cruel. It looked very cruel to me, because if you wanted your child to move out at 18, which I think is fine, then you should have started to prepare that child so that when he leaves the door, and it can be done even if you're a single mother. Listen, if I'm a single mother, I'm going in my neighborhood and I'm going to look for somebody like Wise, who got 2 sons. And when I see you with your 2 sons out raking the lawn, I'm gonna walk across the street with my son and say, he got a rake. Can he rake the lawn with you? And you can teach him how to rake the. I'm loaning him out for free to any man who's decent. Now, I mean, obviously, we know we're talking about people who are sane and decent and are gonna, not do anything harmful to your child. But there's somebody at the church that needs their garage painted. I'm on there saying, oh, he can come. He'll be there Saturday. What time does he have to come to paint your house? Oh, you got a job where you are tiling homes, floors, and you know how to lay floors in homes? Excellent. I got a free worker for you. My son is going to know how to do something. Even if he goes to college or if he goes to the military, what he should have is the confidence that he can walk. I don't care if he can do nothing but cut hair. He should know that he can walk out the door and make $1 somewhere with his hands. And I don't care what else he's doing, because you could work in the corporate world and they could downsize you. You could, there could be a shutdown in the government and the military is not getting paid. You never know what's going to happen. You should be training your son so that he goes in this world and at 18 has a way to make money. It may not be his preference. He may, in fact, learn to do something else. But he should know, if all else fails, I do have a skill that I can fall back on and that I can lean on in a time of trouble and get me through, any kind of difficulty. But just to walk up to a kid that you've never made do a thing but play a video game and run with his friends and hand him a wad of money and then say, now I'm gonna put you on the taxpayer because you didn't do your job as a mother? Absolutely not. I thought it was cruel to the boy, and I think it is cruel to me, the citizen, who now has to pick up the slack.
I was.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Elder Travis, I give you the next word, bro.
I'm the same way. I feel the same way. I have a daughter, so I told her she can stay until she's ready to go. But one thing I do know, I've equipped her. People call her my twin. So she's very to the point, like even she's young. So she even got most organized in her class because we do things right. You're supposed to do it. She did not prepare. That's what I allude to. She didn't prepare her son to be there. That's why he speaks lost. He looked lost. Let me call my mama bruh. Bro. I'm almost 40. Let me call bro. What? Who are you talking to? To this day, I would not do that.
No.
Then like you guys said, the cursing, and then for her to even record it, you trying to prove a point. You got a bag ready for me, but you ain't gave me no knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So you already setting him up for failure. He's gonna get his first apartment. He ain't gonna be able to pay the next month's rent. Even like you say, you're talking about food. You already creating a path for him. Get on government assistance. The path has been created. You're creating the path. So that shows me that prior to that, you didn't even put him in position to even think he can do it. Like you said, you went to the military. She said her girls have jobs. Her son is, everybody, you position them to, when it's time for you to fly, you can go fly. I left my mom's house at like 17. I went to college early because in my mind, I thought I was big and bad and I was ready, but I was prepared. I knew what to do. I knew what not to do, how to walk, how to talk, how to speak to people. Bruh, and twisting your hair, that is a pet peeve of mine. So even as I'm watching, I'm cringing. Even to speak to your mother like that. So for me, I agree with, go ahead and fly, do your thing, but they can only fly if you prepare them, because now you're sending them out with broken wings. So how can I get where I don't have no wings to fly? You hear him, he basically pleading, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna do for food. Again, the father's not there. Me coaching, I coach young boys from 3rd grade up. One thing that I always instill into them, you're gonna be a man one day. Ain't no whining over here. You can't whine. You miss a shot, go pound over there. Go sit down. And a lot, you can tell he didn't have that instruction. So that's my take on it. It was very cruel. I think it's traumatizing because that's something he's going to carry to a woman. And what's going to end up happening, in his mind, he's going to find a way to, because he may get up, he may get down. We don't know. He's going to find a way, but he's going to transfer that off to a woman, eventually have kids, and it's going to create a generational curse that somebody else will have to break by the time, life is over.
I would agree. He's that kid that at this point that mama just got to take him to the recruiting office. Find somebody that will take him, that can turn him into what she should have done, or maybe she just didn't have the ability to do. Bro, go do 4 years, in this military so you can gain some discipline and some respect. Yes. It's still yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. It's still that with my parents and with elders in general. But it's pretty obvious that that's not something that's being taught in this day and age. Dion, I'll give you the last word on this, and then we'll keep it moving. I want to play this last little clip, and then we'll keep it going.
Oh, yeah, just, it was sad to watch because she's obviously sending out mixed messages. She gave him no preparation, and and then she's sending him on his way. I mean, I'm sitting there wondering, I'm like, does the kid have a driver's license? I mean, obviously at 18, he has no credit. Who's gonna rent to him, even with that wad of cash in his hand? You know, what job does he have? I mean, I got the impression that maybe this kid's been giving her trouble and she was aggravated at him and basically just decided, you know what, get out. But, you know, either he's going to just continue in a state of dependency, like he's been dependent on her because she's his mom. But with her, like you all said, telling him, you know, we're gonna get you hooked up on some food stamps for your food. You know, are you pushing him from dependency or not? You know, so there's all those mixed messages. And like y'all say, I mean, one of the obvious things is there's no father around. If this kid, if she sticks to her guns as far as him getting out, it's so easy to see him end up in a life of crime. Either that or he's just going to find another female to latch on to.
Hey.
One or the other.
Hey, a duffel bag. Hey.
Really? We had to do the duffel bag again.
I'll be super quick. Just like we were talking about in the last segment when we said a lot of times kids don't know what to do when they get these super ginormous $20 million basketball, football, sports contracts. She just did the same thing. She just dropped a whole bunch of money on him and expected him to know what to do with it. Didn't give him no knowledge.
Yeah.
Train up a child in the way that they should go.
Just real quick, I just wanted to say, yes, she didn't prepare him, but sometimes it don't even be that. You are preparing. Some people prepare their children.
Yeah, and they don't listen.
They don't listen, and then they think that you're saying, if by 18, if you don't do this, and or whatever, when you graduate, I'm putting you out. They think it's an empty threat. So sometimes you have to do that because they think it's a joke. They're like, my mama ain't gonna throw me out, and then your mama have to throw you out so you can see that wasn't a joke. Because you need to.
I also think there's a difference too. Like I have boys, so my expectations for them, you know, is different than if I would have had daughters. You know, I'm probably, you know, with, you know, Elder Travis in the sense that, you know, if I had daughters, I look at it like she is my responsibility until I find her a suitable husband. But we're also going to have some of these conversations early on that I'm going to play a role in that and to make sure that when I hand you off, when I walk you down that aisle and hand you off, you ain't coming back. And I'm going to let him know, hey, she is yours from now on, bro, till death. And you better die. That's the only way she can come back. That's the only way. You know, so I just think that need to be put out there. But I think boys, you know, there's a greater responsibility and there's a greater expectation for them because my thought process and the way I've, you know, would talk to my children is that right now I am the leader and your problem solver, but there's going to be a day where you're going to have your own family, your own wife, your own children looking to you to be the leader and the problem solver. And we need to set you up for that type of position in life. And the only way you learn that is by getting to a point to where you can stand on your own too, go through some hard times, go through some trials and tribulations. So you know that, hey, I can handle these things when they come about because we all know life's from time to time. And you need to be able to handle that. And when you get your own family, you know, your own wife, your own children, they're going to be looking to you to solve their problems. And you're not going to have me, you know, to do that for you. You know, so I think that's a difference, you know, in the way we look at, or at least the way we should look at things. You know,
no, my daddy told me to get out. I didn't want to listen, so my daddy told me.
Well, you hard headed, you know.
I was hard headed.
BC like, Crystal hard headed. Goodness gracious.
Gotta go.
Couple super chats, and then I want to play this last clip. Shout out to Marks with the $10 super chat. Says Crystal, me never having children. I tell you, I tell people like yourself almost daily. You already have the gold in the world with your son and daughter. You are rich. All right now.
I am blessed.
The kids they can be a blessing. Sometimes they can feel like curses though. Sometimes just depend on the type of kid it is. Shout out to DeAndre. He says no eyes. The Wrap It Up box kit from Chappelle Show. Yeah, I need to get a sign or something. Shout out to Sonny Wright. None of my kids have ever called me bro. Yeah, we don't do that. We raise our kids with respect. It's still yes sir, no sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Shout out to DeAndre. Says that's her fault. She raised him. And he also said son, husband. Yeah, we see a lot of that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And shout out to Kix Shins with the $50 super chat. Says also, if expect your child out at 18, stop claiming them at 16. So college is independent. Also, piggyback them as user on a solid pay credit card. Okay,
Yeah.
so their credit is set. Yeah, I can.
That's what we did. That's what we did
Yeah,
with.
that's solid. That's
Mhm.
solid. This is the opposite of the young lady that we showed in the I guess the second clip of the day. This is the opposite, and you would be so lucky. You know, you would be, I ain't gonna say lucky, blessed to find this type of woman here. I'm telling you, man. And Pops, he's doing the daggone thing.
Chicken salad is on. You want some bread, or you just gonna get a spoonful? Come this way, honey. Come this way. So you can do chicken salad on bread, croissants. Put it on
The spinach wrap.
spinach wrap, lettuce. My favorite way for him is on bread. So you want me to make you a sandwich?
You taste it first, then you can make your sandwich.
It's
come
gonna be
in.
good.
Come
Come
in
in
the
the
camera
camera.
and say hi.
This is the love of my life.
Let's see.
Hear that crunch? That's from the peppers. What do you need?
Need a little spice for hold still. Oh yeah, it tastes right now.
Very cute.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's good.
While you had a little sandwich, and might as well have some nice tea and chips to go with it.
You want me to make that for you? I promised God I was gonna see about you. So here comes the sandwich.
Okay, I'm gonna go just sit down there.
All right, now 51 years of marriage. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about right there.
Cute.
Should be so blessed. That brother is blessed.
Yes.
Look at his faces. He's looking mad. Look, why you all sad looking, bro?
No, I'm cool. I didn't want to say it again, but we talked about this on my podcast too. I know people probably tired of me saying that, but yeah, that's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing, man. That those types of marriages that last that long are almost unheard of, because not only because they're not happening, but also because the people that are in those marriages are passing away. So now we're being left with the people that are 20 years or less, 10 years or less, 5, and it was crazy because I was thinking the amount, you could tell that after 51 years, she still is making sure that her man feels like he's taken care of by her. Like she's still making it seem like her making him happy is still a priority for her. And I think that's what it takes to make a relationship work on both ends. I think you're a good candidate for a relationship when you make it your priority to make the other person's life easier. So, but seeing that, there's a little bit of despair in my reaction too, because not only are these women not doing that, they don't even cook. They know how to DoorDash. They know how to throw out some, the most basic stuff. Put your little ramen noodle bowl together. But
oh god,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I heard it said that ramen noodles are like a molecule away from being plastic. You feed that to your family, you're trying to kill them.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, man. So it's definitely rare indeed.
Unfortunately,
I had to catch myself because I started putting tears in my eyes, because that literally is a picture of my grandparents. My grandmother said when my grandfather told her he loved her twice in their life. Once when he entered her life, and once when he transitioned out. But he spent every day showing her how much he loved her. And on his dying breath, he said, "I love you more now than I ever did in this moment." And it was like the way they took care of each other, the way she would call him dads. That was her nickname for him. She didn't call him his name. She would call him dads, and it was just so sweet to watch them. And then I look at my parents who they're how old am I? Yeah, they've been married for 47 years. And he still calls my mom his bride, and just watching my mom like over Christmas scurrying around the kitchen. You want this? You want that? And she's trying to make sure my dad has everything that he needs. Are you okay? Are you comfortable? It was just the most adorable thing. So for me, that is all I'm used to growing up with. That's all I've seen. And so maybe Spacey said most women know how to DoorDash and ramen. I didn't. I learned how to cook from a very young age because I was prepared. I was already preparing to be a wife without me knowing that I was being prepared to be a wife. So understanding what it takes to be a good wife to your husband, understanding that you are his helpmate, you have his back, you're taking care of him, and he's taking care of you. That I'm telling you, that is the most beautiful thing ever, and that
It really
is true love.
I would agree with that. I think the issue, Spaces, with you youngins, is that y'all don't have expectations for wives. Y'all care about superficial things, opposed to when you meet a young lady in conversation. You should be asking, what's that dish that you can put together? You can find out very quickly, if this is somebody that you can, go down that road with or not. But y'all don't ask the proper questions. Y'all don't vet properly. The youngins, y'all don't. And
Yeah, I agree.
unfortunately, there's a lot of women out there that aren't being taught, either. But you go down south, man. These country girls, man, they know they still out there. They do still exist. But at the same time, the brothers got to do a little better job of vetting. And when you see a red flag, you flee from said red flag. You don't stick around when you see the red flag. That's the problem. Y'all, a lot of the youngins will stick around even though you see the red flags. And more times than not, she has more red flags, than a Chinese parade, but y'all will still stick around because maybe she's cute, maybe she's easy, or maybe you're, looking for some additional access that you really shouldn't be looking for, at this point. And if you were truly looking for a wife, you would vet her accordingly. No different than if you had a position, you would interview said person accordingly. But unfortunately, a lot of brothers, I know when I got my wife, those are conversations that we had early on. I need to know that you can put some pots together, because if I take you home to my parents, and you can't, that's going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem. Elder Travis, what's your thoughts, bro?
I'm with Crystal. My grandparents were married 68 years. And my grandmother transitioned the day before their, 67, the day before their 68th marriage anniversary. And so one thing grandma used to always say, if we brought a girl to the cookout, she would watch. If you got up and fixed your food, she gonna tell you that ain't the one.
That's
If
it.
you
Yeah,
don't know what to
facts.
do, grandma would be like, that ain't the one. So me seeing that, it took me back, like Crystal said, it took me back to my grandparents. Because one of the questions I always would ask a woman, what is your family dynamic? Because people skip over that. Because was your daddy there? Was your mama there? What was the situation? Was they arguing? What is the family dynamic within your situation? So I love that if you listen to what she said, God told me to see about you. Like, see, stuff like that makes me feel good. And if you notice, he walked over there. You know how we do. Baby, I'm over here. But when he ate and she said that, his posture kind of lifted a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna go sit over there, because a woman can speak life into you without even having to say, I speak life into you. Like her cooking for him, he looked like he was taken care of. And she looked like she was taken care of too. They take care of each other. But it just reminded me of my grandparents, and it just was it hit me as well the same way.
Celeste, you want to get in there?
I thought they were adorable, and really, I wanted to know what was in that bowl. It looked like potato salad. I
No,
was
she said it was chicken salad. It was chicken salad.
I was like, "Ooh, I wish I could taste it. It looked very good." I was,
She had the paprika, some onion powder in there. Yeah, a little paprika over the top.
yeah, it looked very good. I was like, "Go ahead, Mama. I feel you." And I will say this. I certainly think that things are, we're off course for sure. And Wise, you're right. We need to do a little better, and we need to tell the younger generations, sort of when they're off course. Spaces depresses me when he talks about this ramen noodles bowls and this sad situation that apparently is going on. I would hate to think that's correct, but I felt comforted when Wise said that there's still some people that know. But I will say this, and I'm gonna keep saying it. You've got to get all of this worked out in the beginning.
Absolutely.
You have
Early on.
Yes.
And early on. These are early
Yes.
conversations.
Yes. And I would like to say to the young men, if I can, you will appear more attractive if you actually came off that way. If you said, I'm a serious young man and I'm looking for something serious and I'm not on playtime, and this is what I think I want out of my life, and this is what I think I want in a wife, does any of that sound like you? You would be surprised at how a woman would be like, he's different than all the other jokers that come up in my face and try to talk. You would instantly set yourself apart if you could actually be that way and walk in that space. But all that funning and skinning and grinning and fool la la, and all that does is say, I don't have to be any better as a woman because you really ain't all that as a man. And then we start a dumb relationship till it goes to its dumb conclusion.
Absolutely. Dion, I'll give you the last word on this and we're gonna get out of here.
Oh, chat. Let's see. You know what?
If you don't have anything, you don't have anything. It's all good.
I'm tapped out.
You tapped out. I feel you. It's late.
The one compliment I had real quick was that my son, he was listening to his daddy before when it came to women. He would say, his daddy would be like, but she look good, she look good, she look good. And after he got burned a couple of times in relationships, he came back to me. He said, Mom, I'm only going to look for women like you because you are the type, that is the type of woman that I want, a woman like you. And that to me was one of the biggest compliments. And I was like, thank you. I was like, I appreciate it. He's like, because you're a good woman. It's not, you actually have substance. He's like, and that's the type of woman that I should be with. I was like, I appreciate it. That was a beautiful compliment. And as a parent, that is a beautiful compliment.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Guys got to do a better job vetting. I can say I'm fortunate enough. Wifey takes really good care of me all the time. And there's not too much I ask for that she can't piece together. And if not, she'll figure it out. Shout out to Vegas Woman joining the ARP family. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. DeAndre says, Wise don't vet properly.
They don't vet at all.
They don't vet at all. They just hunching and then here come a baby. DeAndre, you a trip, bro. But you right. You right. You watching those social media, it's ridiculous, especially out there in them TikTok streets. I try to stay away from that place. It's a cesspool over there. Elder, don't go to TikTok, man. Just steer clear. It's a cesspool over there. Goodness gracious. Shout out to DeAndre. He says, put some pots together. Brother Wise, I ain't heard that one in all along. Okay. I miss my grandparents. Yeah. Hey, that was a thing. My grandma and my mom, like, don't bring somebody here that can't do nothing in this kitchen. Don't do that. They are judging you from the time you walk through that door. They want to see, hey, if I sit down and it's time to eat and you don't get up and go grab a plate, okay. They making notes, or how the women start getting in the kitchen. So, well, what can you make? The report card can't be she got in here couldn't do anything. No. That's
going to reflect bad on you.
Yeah, and seriously.
I will say that I know I'm just a smidge older than y'all, and I hear y'all saying, "Ooh, that was my grandparents." Well, that reminded me of my parents. So I've been sitting here trying not to be emotional because my mom and dad, they're gone to heaven by now. But that was them, and that's what I saw growing up. And my mom was, she provided that image for me. And so, I only look for what I saw her do. And I wasn't fortunate enough, to find that or whatever. So that's why I remain single. But that's what it's about putting a family together and raising a family. And I look at the young people coming up nowadays, and I mean, it's sad nobody's taking time to teach them and to prepare. I mean, they're just sticking them in front of an iPad and just I don't know, let them figure it out, I guess, or whatever. And it's just sad. You can see so much the breakdown of the family because people have gotten so far away from what we just watched. But yeah, I saw that video come up about a week or so ago, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. It gave me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah, it's been on my list for at least 2 weeks, and we just hadn't gotten to it because, Spaces and Crystal and Celeste, y'all just too daggone long-winded. So we just ain't
my mom and dad were married like it was 49 and a half years.
That's awesome.
Do you know that when my mom passed, we were all there in the room, and my dad said, "Thank you so much for 49 years, 6 months." He went to days, minutes, and seconds. And that was when he accepted that she was going. It was around the time she was taking her last breath. And then prior to that, he was like negotiating with the Lord, Lord, shave some of my time off to let her stay longer. That kind of love, you are blessed in this life if you find that kind of love. That's till I die love.
Absolutely.
And that's real.
That's why I'm always afraid that I've missed it, because my parents found each other when they were teenagers. Right. And like I said, they've been married for 47 years. My grandparents, my grandmother was 19 when she married my grandfather. So it's like, I'm like, did you miss the good love? Because you now in that older side of things. Now I'm part of that older crowd.
Right.
My mother got married at 33. You ain't missed nothing. It's there. It's always there.
It might be a blessing.
Yeah.
Think about it. The BC Crystal. You want to be this Crystal getting married, not that one.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
You've been fighting in the clubs and all. No, we can't have that.
Really wise. I hear you.
We're gonna get out of here. I mean, I'm sorry, Celeste. I didn't mean to keep you up again late tonight on another marathon stream. I'm sorry.
Listen,
my apologies.
I understand that you have good intentions. I
tried. I looked up. I was like, man, we only got through like 2 things in 2 hours. Like, what are we doing? We got to do better. I'm gonna give you a sign. It's gonna say wrap it up. We're gonna start playing some music.
Hey, this is my passion anyway.
You got a soundboard, Wise?
What is this about?
I do. I need to go ahead and just add that. I need to add some effects there. I'm gonna go ahead and handle that.
And then we'll know. This to Apollo.
Yeah, get the Sandman out here.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my passion, so I'm cool with it.
I can dig it. I mean, I enjoy it too, but at the same time, I like to be, respectful, of you guys' time, as well. I do this every day. This is my job. I do this full time.
Don't worry about my time, Wise, because I distinctly made sure my virtual assistant understands that this night Wise requires me until about 3 a.m. So
y'all making me feel bad. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Yeah, DeAndre said, Auntie Celeste, thank you. We only get this once a week. It's starting to get good. Okay. Look at you guys.
Thank you, DeAndre.
Oh, my sis. I'm sorry, my sis just came in and she's like, how did I join when my sis says she's part of the older crowd that can't get married? I love you, sis.
I have a movie recommendation, but okay. I'll send it.
No more movie recommendations. Wise, no more movie recommendations, because I'm not blaming my sister Celeste. Relationship goals came from you. We know it. We know. Don't fake news.
It really wasn't. I don't think so. I think we had a conversation. Maybe it was a mutual. I'll take some of the blame. I'll take some of it. Okay. I'll take some of it. A little bit. 10% of it. We're gonna get out of here, man. Thank you, Elder Travis. I appreciate you pulling up, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we got Elder Travis in here 2 days this week, man. We appreciate you, especially on Tuesday, man. I hope you enjoy hanging out with us.
I enjoy being with you guys, man. It's a great group.
So this is good. This is good. Spaces, appreciate you, brother. Duffel Bag, Spaces in the building, and Celeste and Crystal. Thank you guys so much. You guys are a blessing. And Dion, thank you for pulling up, and thank you for being the blue as well. Just so you know, Dion's one of the blues down there in the chat. I don't know if she be hard on folks, kicking folks out, but I do appreciate your support.
Wise, real quick, can I send you the people have sent me the gutter bunny, so I'll send it to you so you can put it on as a
community post. We'll vote on it. Yeah,
yeah,
send it to me. Oh, perfecto. Thank you, Deb. See, look at that, Deb. Deb's showing me some love. I appreciate that. Thank you, Deb. We appreciate the love. Appreciate you, Deb. Thank you. We're gonna get up out of here, man. We'll appreciate you guys. Come check us out, man. On Friday, we got my guy Van pulling up on Friday morning for ARP in the morning. So come check us out. Come hang out with us.
Did you say?
Yeah, Van. Yeah, Van. LFR family. That's my guy.
Yeah, I know.
That's my guy. But yeah, he'll be with us on Friday morning, and he's already confirmed. So yeah, it should be good. It should be a pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. Good show. But I appreciate you guys, man. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next week for the late shift, man. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
It's the late shift crew. You already know. Handling this, stacking chips, money flow. It is what it is. Don't play with me. I'm on time, but it's the late shift. See.